Good morning, actually, afternoon. Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon, all the 28th January JEE Warriors. I hope you have given your first shift and still, I just put this volume. Yeah, so I hope the last day for your JEE paper 1 attempt is almost 50% has been completed and you would have done wonders with it because whatever we have communicated before through our previous 4-day discussions, approximately whatever concepts we had, the similar concepts got repeated. I mean, the first question that I'm having is the similar pattern of question we were having based on various methods on practically every paper. Yes, Ayush is back. Ayush, I hope you had your paper in the first attempt. Sir, I attempted 19 questions in chemistry. Perfect, 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 perfect. Good, my friend. Very good. Hats off to you. So you got this question of Carious method, Ayush. It was just I just start the discussion for rest of the students. I hope you are there live, join, and let us start this discussion. Sumit sir and Deepen sir are also lined up. The questions are just getting typed. So I have got this one question. It was regarding again the Carious method, the similar method which has been consistently asked throughout these JEE examination paper of this January attempt. You were given 5.3 gram of an organic compound which gave 1 gram of AgBr. Now again the similar method. Yes, cap TX. How many of them were correct? Okay, no offense. They are. Ayush, somebody asking how many of your 19 questions were correct. It is part of the real question. Okay, you got this, Ayush, right? So okay, so the similar concept, I mean, nothing new. Organic compound was given was 1.53. We must have supplied a silver nitrate, and through that, whatever bromine this organic compound had was precipitated in form of AgBr. What AgBr precipitate we got out of this compound? 1 gram of AgBr. Now you have to calculate the percentage of bromine. So let us apply that mole concept. Silver is 108 already given. Bromine is 80. So that becomes 188. So if I had 188 gram of AgBr, that means I would be having 80 gram of bromine. Again, the same and similar and basic unitary method. So if I had 1 gram of AgBr, I would be having 80 upon 188 gram of bromine. And this bromine was coming from where? This bromine was coming from this organic compound. So that will be weight of bromine upon this weight of bromine is coming from 1.53 grams of organic compound into 100. Now this is a tricky part. I told you in the analysis video also that you are going to do what in the paper, do the into divide. So I hope if you do the into divide, you will be landing around 27.81. Yeah. Sir, please help, sir. Rajan, beta, we are helping with the actual questions. It was just a junior. Okay. Ignoring me. No. Ryan Vasi, beta. No. If you are the people because of which we are there. So, hello, Karan. Real calculation was more lengthy. Yes, beta, it was expected that lengthy paper has to come. Sir, it's half question, another half was another reaction of same organic compound. Okay, so Ayush, if you remember the question, because this has been supplied to us by the students, so if you have the question, kindly write it down. I'll repeat and discuss that question also. So nice paper. Okay, Harry sir, will you take class for JEE Advanced? Yes, beta. Post discussion of this JEE Mains, we'll be continuing with the one shots and we will be definitely helping you for JEE Advanced also. That is why we are here. Okay, Karan is saying, so let us, I hope you have got this answer. This is this 27. Guys, now start attempting. So let's see if I've got another question of chemistry or who else. No, questions are getting typed. So by the time Karan is saying, so nice paper, sir, what is the overall type of paper? Beta, the overall type, the pattern of questions, tech, video, with Ritvik. Beta, it is the same question, same patterns. One question, it is just getting typed. It is about the fourth period element, the longest and the element having largest and the smallest size. That one is asked. I guess the question is just getting typed. Maybe I have that question or not. Let me see if I have, because no, the question is just getting typed. So there was one question from chemical kinetics regarding again the first law. Kt is equal to ln of a naught upon at. A naught is initial concentration, at concentration of reactant remaining at time t. So again that log calculation you have to do, and you will be getting your answer then. So okay, Sumit sir is going. So okay, ending. Sumit sir is ready. So we'll meet again.
Am I audible to you? Please mention if you are able to hear me. I hope you are able to hear me. So we are having the first question of the physics 28th morning. Oh, just a minute, what it is? Just a second. So we are just loading it out. Yeah. So let us see what is the question. Oh, so the simple question we are having in physics. Let us read it out. There are three long parallel wires in a plane as shown in figure. Okay, find force on 15 centimeter of length of middle wire. So if I take 15 centimeter of length of the middle wire, how much will be the force on that middle wire? Attempted 22 questions, sir, in physics. Ayush Pratap Singh, great, very good. I hope all 22 are correct. Or 23 questions. Okay, good. 23 questions. That's a great number. If almost all of them are correct, then it will be a very good score. I did 20 questions in physics. Okay, that's also good. So let us see. Now, if two parallel current carrying wires are there, like this, the separation is D. How much is the force per unit length? We write that as, how we write that? You remember that? Do you remember? Due to one, we take the magnetic field on the other and then we write. I am not writing the direct formula, you may get confused. So here the separation is D. Due to this, let us take here current is I1, here current is I2. Okay. So due to this, on that the magnetic field will be mu naught I1 by 2 pi into D. Okay. That is the magnetic field now into I into L. So the force per unit length, if I write, this becomes my force per unit length, mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d. Now if they are carrying current in the same direction, it will attract. If they are carrying current in the opposite direction, it will repel. That funda is clear. I am rubbing it now. Okay, so between these two, they are carrying current in the opposite direction, they will repel, so the force will be in this direction. How much will be the force? Mu naught I1 I2, that is 3, divided by 2 pi into the D is 3 centimeter. This is force per unit length into the length. Okay, how much is the length that we are taking is 15 centimeter. This is due to this wire. Now due to this wire, they are carrying current in the same direction. It will attract, so force will be in this direction. How much? Mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi into D, 2 centimeter, into the length 15 centimeter. Why I added? Because both forces are in same direction, therefore I added. Now here if you see, this is centimeter, this is centimeter. This is centimeter, this is centimeter. I am not converting that to meters because anyways they are getting cancelled. From here mu naught by 2 pi I can take common. Also this 3 is getting cancelled. This 2 is getting cancelled. So mu naught by 2 pi into 15. Here also mu naught by 2 pi into 15. How much is that? Mu naught by pi, okay, into 15, twice of this. Now multiply and divide with 4. Mu naught by 4 pi is 10 to the power minus 7 into 60. So this becomes 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 Newton. So that is, I can say, 6 micronewton. That is option C. Sir, net force पूछा था. हाँ, net force. We are finding net force only on this. We got net force on the middle wire. This is what we are finding here. सोनाली सर, मैंने 23 की शिफ्ट में 31 के आई थिंक सम पोर्शन इज हाइडिंग. वो कर्सर रिमूव कर देना. हाँ, नाउ व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चन. सर, मैंने 23rd की शिफ्ट में 31 के आसपास अटेम्प्ट किया. ओके, टोटल 31 क्वेश्चंस. ओके, so you can target some better marks in the April attempt. Okay, got this correct. Great, Ayush. Now let me see who is ready. I think Deependra sir would be coming. Okay, Deependra sir, it's over to you. Now Deependra sir will take some questions on maths.
So hello, hi, namaskar everyone. Just give me a quick response. Am I clearly visible and audible, students? Are we there? I hope we can get started. I think Sumit sir has ended the stream and I must very clearly be visible to all the participants. Let me check whether we are visible or not. So I hope you all can see me on the screen. Sumit sir must have ended the stream from his end and we are ready with our first question for the day. Okay, great. Yes, we heard the news. It's very unfortunate, but now let's focus on the examination we are having right there in front of us. Let's get started with that. Okay, great. Now, how do we solve this particular question? A very simple question. We have been solving this category of questions a lot many times. I hope you remember we have done such questions previously as well. Every single shift they have been asking questions based on it. Questions based on statistics, mean, median, mod, and of course, basically they are roaming around two things: mean and variance. So if you are very well versed with these two things, you can very easily work out the questions. Can we get started with that? So I hope first of all we are given 10 observations. So the value of n is going to be 10 here. These are the 10 observations where we can clearly see two are unknown. So we are being given such unknowns, and with the help of mean and variance, the formula of that, we are figuring out these values. Now what are we told? Such that mean of observation is 9 and variance is 34.2. Great. I think the job is done. The job is perfectly and totally and absolutely done. The only thing is they are asking you mean a deviation about median. That we all can work out quite easily. But let us first of all now figure out or try to figure out A and B. Two variables, two unknowns basically. So I need two equations. How do I form it? The first equation, when you talk about mean, the mean is given as 9. So I will remember mean is given by summation xi upon n. I hope you remember this formula. With that, when we do this summation xi 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 21 plus a plus b whole divided by the number of observations are 10. So when you do that sum divided by 10 and you put it equal to 9, I hope you understood 2 plus 3 until what? Until b, you get an equation in A and B. So I'll directly write that equation in A and B. That equation turns out to be as a plus b is equal to 10. I hope there is no confusion on that. With that, are you all there with me? Now, I hope you remember there is a formula for variance as well. Do you remember? Variance we are given as 34.2. Do you remember that? Now, variance is given as summation xi square upon n. I hope you remember that, minus summation xi by n whole square. But I hope you remember summation x by n we are given as n. This is exactly your mean. So with that, now what I'll do is summation xi square. Summation x square means what? 34.2 is what given to us. 34.2 is what given to us. Now summation xi square, which means 2 square plus 3 square plus 5 square and so on until what? Until b square. Whole divided by what? Whole divided by number of observations, which is what? Which is clearly 10. Now from this I got to subtract the summation xi by n whole square, that is 9 square. So that is clearly 81. Now when you simplify this equation, when you solve this particular equation, you get another equation in A and B. That equation turns out to be as a square plus b square is equal to how much? Is equal to 58. So that's your second equation. I'm skipping the calculation part. I hope you are comfortable with that. Sir, is there any shortcut for this question? I totally doubt that, Vivek. As far as my knowledge allows me to think, how can there be a shortcut? You've got to perform certain number of calculations, certain number of steps. You simply cannot. But if anybody who's watching this video right now live If you have any shortcut, if you have any other approach which is helping you out in solving this question very quickly, do share it with us. We'd love to have that. So with that, we have gotten two equations in A and B. First one is here. I hope you can see it very clearly. And the second one is right there. I hope you can see it there, here. I hope so. We have gotten two equations. Now you know how to solve two equations in two variables. So even through substitution or through some guess or through some smart work, you can work out the value of A and B. So the value of A you'll receive as 7 and the value of B you'll be receiving as 3. But now what is the problem? So the question is not done yet. Previously, so far, whatever we have been seeing in the other shifts, they have been asking you something related to A and B, A plus B or A square plus B square or something like that. But in this question, they have introduced third concept, that is the mean deviation about median. Now, how do we work out it? I hope you remember, mean deviation about mean means what? Mean deviation about mean is summation xi minus the median. I hope you remember, whole divided by n, and of course it's mod, summation xi minus m, mod of it, which means what? First of all, I need to work out the mean. So if I start working out the mean, I need to arrange it in ascending or descending order. Some people have already started answering the question. Brilliant, that's perfect, that's great. So keep answering, keep responding. That's how you keep yourself engaged. Yes. So far, if I look at the question, it is again moderate. There are conceptually easy and decent questions, but they introduce length. So calculation wise, it could be called a lengthy paper. But of course, I won't say this is a difficult paper. Now, how do I proceed with this part? I hope median can be found very easily. You start arranging this data in the ascending order. So A and B are 7 and 3 respectively. So when you arrange it, this is 2, then you have this 3, then you have another 3, then you have 5, then you got 7 and so on. So when you arrange it in the ascending order, the middlemost terms, I hope you remember that. So if the number of terms are even, so there are 10 observations. I hope you understood that. So the middlemost term means what? 5, 7. Then after 5, 7, what do we get? 5, 7, then we have this 10. Then what do we have? 11, then of course 13, then 15, then 21. So I hope these are the 10 observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. With the 10 observations, which number of observations are even? So if number of observations are even, I got to take the middlemost two terms, which is 7 and 10. So 7 plus 10, I got to take the mean of it. That's brilliant. That's perfect. Yes. That's great, Mayank Shekhar. That's perfect. So with that, 10 plus 7 is 17. Half of 17 is, of course, 8.5. I hope you remember that. So with that, we could work out the median, which is how much, students? 7 plus 10 divided by 2, that is 8.5. So I'll do summation xi minus 8.5, that's your median, divided by 10. Now the only task you should do is, the only thing which you are left with is, which I'm skipping as a calculation part, 2 minus 8.5 plus 3 minus 8.5 plus 3 minus 8.5 and so on with its mod. Mod means you got to take its absolute value. So when you do that summation, when you divide that summation by 10, you get this mean deviation about the median. So with that, you will get the final calculation or the answer as 5 as per the calculation I have performed previously in this question, and with that you mark option B. Everyone with me? Would 12 correct questions get me 99 percentile? In mathematics, 12 correct question with 100% accuracy will undoubtedly get you 99 percentile, depending on some more factors, which means the difficulty of the paper, the performance by the other student, and the normalization which they do. But attempt of 12 is definitely a great part. That's great. So with that, I think we are now ready with physics or chemistry. Let's see who comes next. So let me ask who's ready. Okay, so shall I end? Let me just ask who is joining. Let me see who is ready with his question so that we can hope for somebody else to respond. By the way, what about you students? That's great, Mayank. That's great. 5 will be the correct answer. Great, Vivek. That's perfect. Okay, Jasmine. That's perfect. So chemistry is coming next. We have Gaurav sir ready. So let me say that I'm ending the stream from my end and he will be there with you.
Yes, so good amount of participation we are having. So, Ayush, you were saying we have got some different question of practical organic chemistry, that bromine one. So please rather uh, I mean, suit yourself. You can ask anything, any doubt. Shift 2 hai Mikey. Mikey, shift 2 hai mera. Best of luck, beta. Do this, see this analysis before going to your paper. Do into divide with us. Like the second question, I mean, the piece of cake which chemistry you from chemistry you expect that only. So you were asked a basic question from periodicity. It was saying that in period fourth of periodic table, which element will have the highest and the lowest atomic radii? Sir, we could have done this question. Yes, answer will be A. Mayank is saying answer. Definitely, you would have done this question even you would have been a class 9 student, because we know atomic size decreases along the period and it increases down the group. So here we are asked just about the period, so we'll be focusing on the periodicity that is decreasing. But question is also not bothering you, because we know for inert gases the van der Waals radius is taken. Although for fourth period element you have krypton, and in nature krypton is found to give some covalent compounds also. So covalent radius of krypton can also be calculated. But in general, for inert gases, van der Waals radius is calculated, and van der Waals radius by its nature is of larger magnitude. But they have not disturbed you, so it will be a piece of cake. Yes, Vivek. So along the period it decreases. So highest would be the first element, will be potassium, and lowest will be the 17th period element, that is bromine, which makes option A your beautiful and easiest correct question. So I hope everybody got this question. Yeah, so moving to the next question, guys. Yeah, perfect everyone. Perfect. Raghuv, Vivek, Ayush, everybody, perfect. Now, moving to the next question from chemical kinetics. I was telling you the first order, zero order, and Arrhenius equation. The question asked was from first order reaction. So, what's the formula? What's the integral rate law for first law? It is, sir, Kt is equal to ln of initial concentration upon concentration of reactant left at time t. Now, they are asking for a first order reaction, the ratio of time required you have to calculate. Time required for what? For the concentration of reactant to become 1/8. Let's say initially it was 100. After that, it should become 100 by 8. So let's say that time is T1. So this T1 will be equal to 1 upon K into ln of, let's say initial is 100. So 100 by 8, 100 will get cancelled. You will be landing up with ln of 8. This is equation 1. Piece of cake, sir. What about equation 2? What about the what is the ratio of, what is the second time they're asking? Time required for it to become 1/10. Again, use that formula. So it will be equal to T2 will be equal to 1 upon K into ln of initial A0 upon A0 by 10. So A0 again would be cancelled. You will be getting a 10 in the numerator. So let us find the ratio of T1 by T2. Sir, it is also 1 upon K will get cancelled. I will be getting ln of 8 into ln of 10. Let us go to the option, and it is not even asking you to calculate. It is just the ratio. Maybe if you would have to calculate, then you would be having this is 2 raised 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 raised power 3. So 3 into 2, log 2 is 0.3, and this is log 10. Log 10 is 1 because ln. So the 2.303 factor to make convert it into natural log will definitely get cancelled. So I hope everybody got this answer. Mayank is saying, I am in 11th, don't know this answer. Beta, I'm giving you the formula also. The first law, this is the formula. This is the integral rate law following first order chemical kinetics of any reaction, which is Kt is equal to ln of A0 upon AT. Okay. So, Ayush, sir, it was the ratio of T8 and T10. Yes, beta, I have done that only. No, T8, that is 1 by 8, and T10th. So we have done that only. Vivek is saying yes, sir. So I hope everybody got their answers. Sonali, sir, my shift was 23rd. Okay, Sonali has already given her paper, but beta, you will be having an advanced paper also, and advanced also have 50% mains questions. So these questions must be dealt by you. Now, coming to this next question of, again, I guess this similar question was there. This similar question was there in previous sessions also. Let us browse through this question, the actual similar question. Let us see what it is. Now, the question is saying, I'm having benzene. It is getting reacted with Br2 in presence of a Lewis acid, which is FeBr3. So what happens, sir? Electrophilic substitution. This is not Friedel-Crafts, that is anhydrous AlCl3. So who will be the electrophile? Sir, Br plus. Br plus will be reacting with benzene, and you will be getting a beautiful bromobenzene. Sir, NCRT reaction. Yes, electrophilic substitution, SE reaction. Post that, you are required to react with, sir, aryl halide do not give SN reaction, but if you supercharged the incoming nucleophile, what is the nucleophile? OH minus. How we are supercharging it? By providing it temperature, pressure. So in that extreme condition, this is the basic Dawes process which result in the formation of phenol. Yes, but after acidification, because phenol is also a strong acid than water. So what product you should report? Sodium phenoxide. But after acidification, this X becomes beautiful phenol, a basic NCRT reaction, beta. That is what I told you. Do the basic reactions of NCRT. Now, post formation of this phenol, which will be our X, you are supposed to do NO2 plus, as in nitration. Now, what does nitration? Phenol, sir, it is an activating group. So when we do nitration, yes, because it is an activating group, so heavy nitration can also take place. You can even get picric acid, sir. But how will we know what is the concentration of this nitric acid? Because it is saying you are getting mixture of product, that is A and B. When you get mixture of product, then when you use lesser concentrated nitric acid, if you would have used just dilute nitric acid, you would be getting mono substituted product. So what will be the mono substituted product? Sir, orthoisomer. Sir, but people say orthoisomer is lesser in magnitude. Now this orthoisomer will be competitive in its magnitude formed. Why? Because it is stabilized by intramolecular hydrogen bonding, the basic theory, and because it is associated with intramolecular hydrogen bonding, so its boiling point will be less. The component which is having lesser boiling point vaporizes easily, so it is also termed as more volatile component. So it has lesser boiling point and it is more volatile. What will be the other products, sir? Obviously the para one will also be formed, and para one will be associated with intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So such molecules are attracted to a larger extent, hence have a higher boiling point. So what is the process to separate both of them? Sir, this guy is steam volatile, a practical organic chemistry logic. So how can you separate these two? By simply steam distillation. Pawan is saying C distillation. No, beta. It is an NCRT fact that they are separated using steam distillation. So option A would be preferentially the correct option. Ruthreshwaran is saying, sir, is this shift? No, beta. The questions which I have seen, they are the, yes, sometimes into divide you have to do. That is the only thing. So yes, sir, HNO3 or concentrated H2SO4 tha. Beta, in that case, still, technically, if it would have been concentrated, still they are mentioning that what is produced A and B. So if you are supposed to give mixture of product, if you're supposed to get mixture of product, then you have to consider the mononitration. You have to consider, as per NCRT, it is quite clear that because phenol is an activating group, so heavy nitration. But in that case, only picric acid should be the product formed. But industrially, they are giving you. So concentration also you can manage, even if in the question it is given concentrated nitric acid, but still that concentration you can manage. I would be using very less concentration, because question is helping you that what are the products formed? Mixture of product A and B, or else only picric acid. That means one product will be the major product. So this is how question helps you. Sir, you know the news. Beta, I do not know any, because my news and the most important news for us is your paper and your future. So Sonali, we are just focusing on that news, and obviously the other news, if you are talking of, we'll see what it is, but it is of lesser importance to us. Yes. So let's see. I have another. This is what I have for chemistry. Now let's see who's next. Or I have some another chemistry question. Who is next? By the time flood all your doubts, beta. We are there for you. We are only there to answer you. So flood whatever doubts you have. Gaurav Kumar is saying, how was the paper today? You are late. Gaurav, paper was as expected. So yes, Sumit sir is going. So Sumit sir is coming.
Okay, okay. Let us see this question. Oh, this is also from magnetic field. Sir, I am expecting 180 marks in shift 122 gen. What percentile can I get? I hope you should get 99 percentile, more than that a bit. Okay. Let us see, sir, moderate or hard shift. We are saying, like, till now we have got 4 questions on physics. Okay, so physics questions are okay. As of now, physics questions are okay. It means on the easier side. Somebody is saying, sir, please aap board ka bhi le lena. We will see for that. Okay, let us read this question. For a circular coil of radius r, center is this. Okay, magnetic field at center is this. Magnetic field at center we know. Yeah. So what is the formula for magnetic field at center of a circular current carrying loop? Mu naught by 2r. So this thing is given to us as 16 micro Tesla. What will be the magnetic field on the axis at a distance of this? What is the formula for magnetic field on the axis of a loop at a distance x? Mu naught I r square divided by 2 r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. This is the formula for magnetic field on the axis. Now here x is given to us as root 3r. So x is my root 3r. If you put x as root 3r, so 3r square plus r square, that will become 4r square. 4r square to the power 3 by 2 it will become. So mu naught I r square divided by 2, and here it is 4r square to the power 3 by 2. 4 to the power 3 by 2 is 8, and r square to the power 3 by 2 is r cube. So this will become mu naught I by 8 into 2 is 16, 16r. This is my B dash. Now this is 16 micro Tesla. 16 micro Tesla is this thing. This thing is my 16 micro Tesla. Put that. So 16 by 8 is 2 micro Tesla. So this is our option D. Option D, that is 2 micro Tesla. सर मेरा शिफ्ट वो क्वेश्चन आया था क्यूब के कॉर्नर पे क्यू चार्ज और फेस पे 2q चार्ज. आई थिंक कमेंट इज नॉट विजिबल. थोड़ा नीचे का पार्ट इज नॉट कमिंग क्लियरली. जस्ट अ मिनट. आई एम मेकिंग इट करेक्ट. स्टूडियो पर्सन इज नॉट हेयर. So या हाँ, हमारे स्टूडियो पर्सन चले जाते हैं बीच में. सो व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चन? सर मेरे शिफ्ट में वो क्वेश्चन आया था क्यू के कॉर्नर पे ओके 2q फेस पे चार्ज था और फ्लेक्स पूछा था. दैट वाज वेरी इजी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन. सारे शिफ्ट्स के पेपर करके गया था. सब शिफ्ट में सिमिलर क्वेश्चंस थे और बदले में आज एनटीए ने सिर्फ काट दिया. ओके, टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस का तो आपको अंदाजा लगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट एग्जैक्टली द क्वेश्चंस विल रिपीट. सर 1/8, हाउ यू डू दैट? 1/8. oh, this mu naught I by 16r is 1/8 of mu naught I by 2r, isn't it? 2 into 8, 16 na. Therefore I wrote it like this. English please, so we could also understand. Okay, yeah, please try to mention your comments in the English. Now next question, equation of EM wave in a medium is given like this. Find a refractive index of the medium. Now how to find refractive index of a medium? We know the formula for refractive index as mu is equals to speed of light in the vacuum. Okay, speed of light in the vacuum divided by speed of light in the medium. This is how we write. So from this equation, can you write the speed of light? We write it like omega by k. This is how we write the speed of a wave. So omega is this part and k is our this part. So this is 2 into 10 to the power 15 divided by 10 to the power 7. So this becomes 2 into 10 to the power 8. So I got this as V. Now put C is 3 into 10 to the power 8. V is 2 into 10 to the power 8. So this becomes 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 is our option A. 3 by 2. Sound not coming. Please. Are you able to hear me? Somebody is saying that sound is not coming. Please check. Please mention. Yeah. Refractive index is C by V. Sonali. Great. Okay. Now I think we will have some more questions on physics. Not on physics. On maths. Okay. So Deependra sir is coming. So Deependra sir, it's over to you.
All right, students, I believe I'm clearly visible and audible on the screen. Can you all see me? I hope I have shown you the screen and it is properly visible to all the participants. So let me just refresh. So yes, it's visible. Are you all there? Great, great. So what trend did you observe in this year paper? I just got 21st Jan first shift. Okay, I think you're talking to me, and if you're talking to someone else, carry on. But I think I'm clearly audible and visible. Everyone, all the participants? Great. Let's get started with this. So we have received some more questions. Let's get started with those questions. This is our first question from that part. ITF, inverse trigonometric functions. How do we solve it? Now, this may look like a difficult one, but truly or technically it is not. It is really not. How? Have a look at that. First of all, try to simplify this. How do we simplify this? Either take sine inverse 2 by 3 as t or cos inverse 2 by 3 as t, whichever you wish to take. So let's say I take one of the values as t. So if I'm assuming cos inverse, let's say I'm taking cos inverse 2 by 3 as t for a while. I hope I can do that without any confusion or hesitation, or even 1 by 2 times cos inverse 2 by 3 as t. So I hope that's not a problem at all. With that, now let's try to get rid of this expression. Now, how do we do that? I hope you remember sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is always pi by 2. So with that, sine inverse of 2 by 3 can be written as sine inverse of 2 by 3. This particular part I'm explaining or exploring here. I hope no other thing is confusing you all. So this is tan inverse of 1 by 2 1 by 2 sine inverse of 2 by 3. So this is 1 by 2 as it is, pi by 2 minus cos inverse of 2 by 3. I hope I can do that without any confusion. I'm just simplifying this particular part. I hope you all are there with me. Everyone is with me on this. Now, can I move ahead with that? From here, when this 1 by 2 is pushed inside, what do you get as tan inverse? What do you get as tan inverse? Pi by 2 into 1 by 2, that's pi by 4 minus 1 by 2 cos inverse of 2 by 3. Now, did you all realize what is the advantage or significance of having this? I hope you all must be realizing now, if I take 1 by 2 cos inverse 2 by 3 as t, Shashwat Gupta, I need to see more questions, then only I'll be give you some substantial result or conclusion based on that. So far, let's look at these questions, right? So with that, when I move ahead here, what I'm clearly seeing is that here, this particular part becomes what? This question now becomes 10 of pi by 4 plus 1 by 2 cos inverse 2 by 3 we have taken as t. So this becomes pi by 4 plus t plus tan inverse of this becomes 1 by 2. This whole expression becomes pi by 4 minus this, which is clearly what? Pi by 4 minus t. And this we are given as k. Everyone with me on this? I hope a very simple, easy, standard and decent question. With that, when you see, I hope you know 10a plus b. 10a plus 10b upon 1 minus 10a 10b. This is 10a minus 10b upon 1 plus 10a 10b. And that too with a pi by 4, which will simplify your calculation to 10 pi by 4, 1. Then you are having 10t divided by 1 minus 10 a 10b, so that is 10t. With that, this will become what? This will be 1 minus 10t divided by 1 plus 10t, and this we are given as k. I hope without any confusion you can say so. With that, when I take the LCM, sir, you know, I know how to solve problems, but I won't try it. It got reflected in my exam, how to overcome it. I am really not able to understand that question. You know how to solve a problem, you don't want to try it. That's really tough to understand for me. If you don't want to try it, then how will you solve it? There's no point in overcoming this problem. You just got to lift the pen and solve it. That's how you solve questions, right? What should I say in that case? I mean, if you are not wanting to solve it, how will it get solved? That's not a problem. That's just your willpower, which is not there. I mean, how will the question get solved if you are not lifting up the pen? If I'm interpreting your problem correctly, or if it is something else, do write it more specifically. With that, when you take the LCM, this into this, plus this into this upon this into this. So 1 plus 10t, 1 plus 10t, that is 1 plus 10t whole square. So that part, this calculation, I hope this LCM part you can do by yourself. I'm just writing the final part which you get after simplifying this. So that final part you receive as k is equal to 2 times 1 plus 10 square t, sorry 10 square, yes t, divided by what? Divided by 1 minus 10 square t. I hope there is no confusion on that. Everyone with me on this? Now, do you remember this identity? 1 minus 10 square theta upon 1 plus 10 square theta is cos 2 theta. I hope you haven't forgotten that. So, with that, I can write it as k is equal to 2 is already there in the numerator. This upon this is cos 2t. So, this will be cos 2t. I hope you are understanding what will be cos 2t. Any confusion on that? From here, if I work out, this 2 goes there. So cos 2t becomes nothing but what? 2 by 3. Everyone with me on this? I repeat, cos inverse 2 by 3 is 2t. So cos 2t will be 2 by 3. So if I substitute that value here, it becomes what? 2 by 2 by 3. This is 2 by 1 basically. So 2 gets cancelled by 2. So first of all, we have concluded the value of k. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Savita Chauhan, that's brilliant. I think this is exactly what that was. Great. So Savita is saying today's paper was easy. Great, 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 great. Easy compared to the other papers. Okay, Shashwat, that's great. Perfect, brilliant. With that, when I move ahead, I hope we have cracked K. So now once you have cracked K, I think that solving this particular inverse trigonometric equation is not a difficult task. How? Why? Because sine inverse kx minus 1. What is K? 3. So it will be sine inverse of 3x minus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to sine inverse of x minus cos inverse of x. So this is sine inverse of x minus cos inverse of x. Can I substitute that cos inverse of x by pi by 2 minus sine inverse of x? Everyone with me on this? Are you all comfortably understanding whatever I'm doing? Great, 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 Pratiksha. So with that, sine inverse x becomes 2 times sine inverse of x minus what? Pi by 2. And there you have sine inverse of 3x minus 1. Now, all I'm asking you to do is simply expand this with 2 sine inverse x formula. Do you remember that identity with 2 sine inverse x? So, when you replace it with this identity of 2 sine inverse x, where we have been asking you to memorize all these identities, sir, what will be the cutoff? I'm really clueless at this stage because we need to figure out more questions. Then only we'll be able to put a substantial, a profound comment on that. Yes, yes, yes. Today's paper was hard. So yes, it's a mixed response basically. With that, when I go ahead, I hope you understand 2 sine inverses can be expanded with that identity. And when you replace that here, you get an equation in sine inverse x, you take sine ratio, and ultimately there will be only one value which will be satisfying it. That will be 0. X is equal to 0. That will be x is equal to 0. That will satisfy it. So there will be how many solutions? There will be, I think, number of solutions. There will be one solution. Let me just cross check it with my calculation, because calculation part is something which I'm not doing. I'm not exploring here. I hope you are comfortably understanding that. Can we move ahead with that? Everyone there listening and understanding it very clearly. With that, when we see the next question, what do we see? Amazing, brilliant. A very easy, very simple question. I'm sure anybody who is simply comfortable with 10 standard basic quadratic equations would have or must have done it. How do we solve this question? Look at this. It says alpha and beta are roots of quadratic equations. So this quadratic has 2 roots. Which 2 roots, students? Alpha and beta. Now how do we solve this particular part? Alpha is less than beta. That is also what we are told. Such that 1 by alpha minus 1 by beta is 1 by 3. So if I simply start expanding it, it will be beta minus alpha upon alpha beta is equal to 1 by 3. If I cross multiply it, I'll get 3 times beta minus alpha is equal to what? Alpha beta. So the problem is I don't know the difference of the roots. I do know, but that modulus should be there and root d upon mod a. So you can introduce that, or you could simply square it. But what we clearly know is that say beta is greater than alpha. That is what we are told. So beta minus alpha will be under root d upon a. I hope everyone is listening and understanding. And even if you do get confused, great, Rajesh, that's brilliant. If you have attempted 9 questions, that's a good attempt in maths. I hope all the 9 questions are accurate. Great, 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 great. So if you are confused that sir mod A should be there or not, so you can square both these sides. That will even simplify your problem. So here if I square it, this will be 3 square, this will be square, and this will be square. I hope it is easy now. Although I hope you remember beta minus alpha is under root d upon mod A. So you can either do that, or you know how to expand beta minus alpha whole square. You can write it in terms of alpha plus beta whole square. I hope you remember that. Great, great, great. That's brilliant. So with that, I'll be writing it as 9 times beta minus alpha whole square. Can I not write it as alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. I hope it makes complete sense. You are getting a very good clarity on that. With that, we are given alpha beta whole square. So alpha beta whole square we already know. Now what I'll do is I'm skipping that particular step because here a lot of calculation is involved, which is not a tough task, because here alpha plus beta you already know is lambda plus 3. So alpha plus beta I'll be replacing by lambda plus 3 here. Alpha beta we already know is C upon A, that is 3 upon lambda. So this I'll be replacing by 3 upon lambda. That 3 upon lambda I'll be replacing here as well. So you, I hope, are clearly realizing I'll be getting an equation in lambda. That equation, I hope I can skip that part. So when you do that calculation, you get an equation in lambda, and that equation is going to be a quadratic, which turns out to be lambda square minus 6 lambda plus 8 is equal to 0 after simplification. So you put this value here, this value here, this value here, you get an equation in lambda that turns out to be this. Now what are we asked? We are asked find the sum of all possible values of lambda. I think if it has two roots, lambda 1 and lambda 2, so sum of the roots is given by minus of minus 6 upon 1, that's 6, and that should be your correct option, option B. Was it really tough? Was it really difficult? Are you all not able to solve this? In 10th standard, anybody must have done it. Just except for one part where you are maybe slightly not comfortable with beta minus alpha part. That's perfect. That's great. That's brilliant. Can we move ahead with the next question, students? The next question is a pretty good one, a very good one, a very decent one. You would love to solve it. Okay. Great, Savita. That's not a problem. With that, how do we solve this question? Brilliant one, a really nice one. Here it says 3 balls are taken from the box without replacement. So 3 balls are taken without replacement. I hope you're understanding it. Now what are we told? Found to be all black. So all the 3 balls are found to be black. Great. If all configuration of red balls and black balls are equally likely, which means there are multiple configurations. Multiple configurations of what? Red ball and black ball. In what? Let's read the question further. Then the probability that the box contained 1 red and 9 black ball, okay, we'll work it out, is P by Q. For some co-prime, I think there is some data missing in this question because I think there is some data missing. Let me just read the question. If 3 balls are taken from the box without replacement found to be all black, of red balls and black ball are equally likely. Yes, there is some data missing. 1 red and 9 black ball. Okay, great. Probability that box contain 1 red and 9. Okay, great. No data is missing. You just no, it's not a wrong question. What is the level of maths in this shift? Gaurav, we need to figure out more questions, then only we'll be able to work it out. Yes, this question was different. Maybe, but so far we have received this data. So based on this data, let's try and solve this. Will that be okay? That's great, Atharva. No problem on that. But let's try and solve this based on what we have received as the inputs here. So if I first of all try and make you understand what sorts of all configurations can I receive from 1 red and 9 black balls. So I hope you're understanding. Total in general, I'm having 10 balls. In general, I'm having total how many balls? 10 balls. Now, what kind of configurations can I have? I can have 0, let's say red, and 10 black. I hope you're understanding it. Or I can have 1 red or 9 black. Or I can have 2 red or let's say 8 black, and so on until what? Until I may have let's say 9 red and 1 black, or I may have 10 red and 0 black. First of all, are you understanding? These are all the configurations. If I ask you the number of configurations, would you not hesitate in saying, so these are 11 configurations? Why am I saying 11? Because 0 red and 10 black are there. That is also one of the configurations. Here 10 red and 0 black are there. That is also a configuration. So 1 to 10, these are 10 plus 1. So total 11 configurations are there. I repeat, there are total 11 configuration. Now, what are they saying in the question? What are they saying in the question? Sir, I am finished. No, Gaurav, you are not. It's a long life. Trust me. It's a long life. You are not finished at all. Now, when I go ahead with that, they told you that the configuration of red balls and black balls are equally likely. So, probability of getting this configuration is 1 by 11. This is 1 by 11. This is 1 by 11. So, probability of getting any configuration is 1 by 11. But they are interested in that the box contained 1 red and 9 black. So, they are interested in this configuration. They are interested in this configuration. I hope you are understanding. But this configuration comes with a conditional probability based theorem is going to be applied, because they are telling you that 3 balls are taken from a box and then all are found to be black, all are found to be black, and that configuration should be 1 red and 9 black. So that configuration in which the box in which the balls were contained, that box must have contained this configuration 1 red and 9 black out of all these possible combinations. So what is the probability? I hope you have understood that. No confusion on that. K balls were red and 10 minus K balls were black. Okay, Savita, I think now we have received this question. Let's solve this. Otherwise, we may keep solving a lot of questions received by a lot of students. So let's solve this particular one based on the data we have received. First of all, what I'll do is I'll simply say 3 balls are taken from the box and they all are found to be black. But I want those 3 black balls of this configuration. So in this configuration, how many black balls are there? In this configuration, I'm seeing 9 black balls are there. So out of those 9 black balls, 3 black balls can be chosen in 9C3 ways. I hope you're understanding it. And I hope you are comfortably getting it. And the probability of getting this box, this configuration is chosen is 1 by 11. I repeat, 1 by 11 is the probability of this configuration being chosen. And from this configuration, if 9 black balls are there in this configuration, the probability of 3 black balls being chosen is 9C3 upon the total balls which are 10C3. Did you understand this part? I repeat, out of 10 available balls, 3 balls can be chosen in 10C3 ways. Out of 9 balls, black balls, 3 black balls can be chosen in 9C3 ways. But this configuration needs to be chosen, which can be done in 1 by 11 ways. Everyone with me? This is the probability of the required event divided by the total probability. Now, total probability means what? 1 by 11 into this plus 1 by 11 into this plus 1 by 11 into this or which means addition. So with that, when I do so, 1 by 11 will be there in all sorts of terms. So 1 by 11 I'm taking common. Now from here, I can clearly see that there are 10 black balls. So from 10 black balls, I can choose 3 black balls in 10C3 ways. And the probability of having 3 black balls is 10C3. Now with that, let's talk about this. From 9 black balls, 10 balls can be chosen in 9C3 ways. But the total balls can be chosen in 10C3 ways or and so on until the last step. But let me write the second last step so that you can see the pattern. I totally get that, Bhargav, but so far we have received this question. So I am supposed to solve a question which we have received as the data. We could form a question based on that data. So I'm getting that question done. But if the question was different, still you would be getting a good idea, crystal clear idea that what should be the approach in that question. Yes, I got that, Viper. Great. So with that here, I hope you are realizing here I'll be having 8 red and what? 8 red and what? 2 black. So with that I'll be getting 0 probability, because if 2 black are there, how can you have 3 black balls? Even here and here you'll be getting 0 probability, because out of 1 black balls you cannot have 3 black balls. So just before it there would have been a case 7 red and 3 black. From here, I must be having a probability, which means what? It should have been, the last term would have been 3C3 out of 3 black balls. 3 black balls can be chosen in 3C3 ways, but the denominator still remains same, 10C3. Everyone with me? Right before this step, I hope you must have seen 4C3 upon what? 10C3. So I hope all of you must have realized the pattern. 3C3, 4C3, 9C3, 10C3. Still, do remember here, 10C3, 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 this 10C3 comes out common. So what you all must be realizing is that after this calculation, which calculation 1 by 11 gets cancelled by this 1 by 11, this 10C3 gets cancelled by all these 10C3. I hope you are comfortably understanding it. So the numerator is left with what? 9C3. In the numerator, you are left with 9C3, and then in the denominator, it is 3C3, 4C3, and so on. So which formula will you use? I hope you remember that particular formula, NCR plus N plus 1 CR plus 1. I hope you remember. How do we write this formula? Do you remember that? So if N and N plus 1, sorry, if this N is same, but there is an increment in R. So what do we do is, R's are consecutive, N are same, so you increase N by 1, which is N plus 1, and you write the bigger R. So bigger R is R plus 1. So that formula, when you keep applying, you get the final value, and I'm not doing that calculation. I'm giving you the final value. The final value comes out to be 11C4. I hope that's not a tough task. Now this calculation you all are pretty good at doing, and 9C3 and 11C4 you all are good at expanding. When you solve this, you can get the correct answer. More importantly, did you understand the approach? Even if the data was different, will you not be able to do it? I hope you all have comfortably understood it. With that, let me see what next question I see here. I am not seeing any question here, so let me tell it to the sort of, okay, so I am ending it now. Let's see who is joining next. Anyone who is joining. So I think Sumit sir and Gaurav sir probably would be there, and then we'll hand it over to them, so that you can have more clarity about chemistry and physics as well. Let me get a confirmation so that we can get started. Nobody has responded so far by the time. Okay. So Gaurav sir is ready. I am ending from my end. Let's see what do they discuss here.
Wish me luck, guys. Yes, Sai Murugesh. Beta, best of luck. Difficult. I'm very sorry to read that name if I'm reading it inappropriately. Yes, Vivek. Hi. Bhargav is saying, sir, the question was. Bhargav. Yes, guys. I mean, thank you very much for the vigilant and supportive, and for your benefit also. More informed, being more informed right there means a lot to us also, and will be adding up to your preparations also. Ayush rightly how to tackle backlog chapter. Beta, if you're having, if you're having a paper on 28th, the second shift, obviously you cannot do anything for the backlog. The best thing you can do is see the discussions. If you have time, see the previous day's discussion, because if I talk of chemistry, whatever questions I've got till date is very simple. And what simple as in whatever it has been asked, the only thing you have to do while actual your JEE paper is the actual into divide you have to do religiously over there. Now, as I was telling you that your Ayush was saying that this question of chemical kinetics, actually it has been given to us also by many more students, that there were two terminologies. Now, English is a very tricky language, so Ayush, you were right, we have got that question also. Some students said that for this first order reaction, the question was ratio of time required for the concentration of reactant to become 1/8. So if initially it was 100, it has become 100 by 8. If initially it was 100, then it has become 100 by 10 or a naught by 10. So in that case, if that would have been the English of the question, then this will be your answer. But yes, Ayush correctly said, I just do that question first, this one. Now, are you, because it has been options also students gave to us, and yes, that is what I'm telling you, your being attentive matters and means a lot. So yes, that was the question. Gaurav saying, my friend attempted 21 questions, how much he will get? Sir, beta, if he attempted 21 questions correctly, then 21 into 4, he'll be getting 84 marks. So, yes, your friend would be getting 84 marks if 21 questions that he has attempted is correct. But you should read the language also seriously. So, Neha is saying, Neha, just let us do this question. This is saying, some other student said that a reaction was given that X is giving Y and Z. Okay. Time required for the decomposition of 1/8 and 1/10 of the initial concentration. Now the English has been changed. If my concentration was 100, question is asking us what is the time when decomposition of 1/8 has been taken place. So what is the concentration left at time t? Sir, if I have a reactant which is X, it is disproportionating or reacting if its initial concentration was, let's say, A. So this A minus B is actually the value which we have to put where. What is the formula we use? We use Kt is equal to ln of initial concentration upon concentration of this reactant left at time t. That means I have to report this A minus B value. Now, if the English of the question says the time required for the decomposition of 1/8, so 1/8 has to decompose. So what is left behind? As in, A by 8 has to get decomposed. So what is actually left behind? It is 7A by 8. I hope you're getting that. If the English is, question is asking us time required for the decomposition of 1/8 and 1/10 of the initial value. So this has to, 1/8 has to get decomposed. So what is it left at time t? Sir, A minus A by 8. And over there, A minus A by 10. So what will be the actual concentration of reactant at time t? So the difference, that is 7A by 8. So if I apply that formula, it will become KT 1 by 8 it will be equal to ln of a naught upon 7 by 8 times of a naught. So it will be equal to ln of 8 by 7. And what about the another case, sir? K t 1 by 10th will be equal to ln of a naught upon a naught minus a naught by 10, as in 10 minus 9, as in 1, as in this will be a by 10. So a by 10, 10 minus 1 is 9. That means it will be equal to 9 a naught upon 10. So this will be 9 by 10 because a naught will get cancelled. Now, if you have to take the ratio of these two, then k will definitely get cancelled. So you will be landing up with t1 by 8 upon t1 by 10. That will be equal to ln of 8 by 7 into ln of upon ln of 10 by 7. So what is this? Sir, take it, take that as log. So 2.303 will get cancelled. Now ln of a minus b. So this will become log of 8 as in 2 cube minus log of 7. This will be the numerator. What about denominator? It will be log of 10 minus log of 9 as in, okay, I guess they have even served you with log 9 value. Now this is what students told us. Now what will it will be equal to 3 into, what is value of log 2 given? Log 2, okay, they are giving us log 8 only, that is 0.9. So let us use that only. So this is 0.9 minus, they have given log 7 also, so 0.84. It was communicated that these values were given. Now log 10 is definitely 1, we know that, and log 9 precisely it is given to be 0.95. So let us find what it is. Sir, it is 0.06 upon 0.05. Now is it the answer 6 by 5 we have to report? Some students said no. Value of the time ratio into 10 was asked. So do into 10. So I guess this is clear. This is 60 by 5 and 60 by 5 is nothing but 12. So Ayush was saying, sir, yes, Ayush was also correct because this was reported to us by many students and this was the question somebody asked him. Although logic is still the same. The theory gets, the English gets converted because here they are asking time required for decomposition of 1/8 and 1/10, not 2 1/8 and 1/10. If it would have been 2 1/8 and 1/10, then the previous one will be the answer, else this will be the answer. I hope we are making sense over here. Okay. Sir, everyone is afraid to see their answers after exam. Even I am also. Is it? No, beta. Being afraid is the last thing you should have. Face everything, because ultimately whatever is the fact is inevitable. So if you are just keeping your eyes away from the fact will not change the actual truth of life. So facing whatever is inevitable, whatever is now, whatever is present, has to be the aim, has to be the way of life. So face whatever is coming to you, and that will make you a right person. So moving forward, so do not worry, beta. Do not worry, Vivek. Vivek AD Shah. Okay, so Vivek, moving forward now. Okay, I left one question. This was another the question from chemical kinetics. The logic remains the same. It is just asking about the first order kinetics. Now coming to the very easy question of chemical of general organic chemistry. Now what is it, sir? Sir, stability of carbon ion. Which carbon ion has the capability to hold which carbon has capability to hold minus? Sir, who is having more electronegativity? How will you determine the electronegativity of a carbon, sir? By its S character. Now this is an sp hybridized carbon. This is an sp2 hybridized carbon. If it would having hydrogen, it will be an sp2, it will be sp, and it will be sp3 hybridized. Now because they have formed an intermediate, so all are sp3 hybridized. I mean, after all are, I mean, after you, before becoming the intermediate, you think of their hybridization state. So because sp hybridized carbon is most electronegative, so this can hold this anion easily, and this will be most stable, followed by 2, followed by 1. I mean, you do not have to move your pen for the such questions. Sure about the answer 9. Okay, Karthik is saying sure about the answer 9. What answer 9, beta? Options were wrong. Options were wrong. Which options, beta? I thought the answer was 9. Okay, you're talking of the, okay, is the answer 9 or 12? Beta, the chemical kinetics question, if you're asking, obviously if I'm solving it, if this was the data given, it is definitely coming out to be 12. So if this is the data given, it is, or else, beta, I am discussing the logic. So logic holds the same, and if this was the data, then I have double checked it. Answer will be 12. Yeah, somebody is saying answer is A, beta, but whatever by the data what is given, it is coming to be 12. So can't do anything about it. Now, moving to the next question, a very probable question has been asked also in the previous sessions this January only. So if you would have been live with the paper discussion, the similar examples came. In the previous sessions, their hybridization state was asked, but now here they are just asking that you have to select the correct statement, and it is just talking about the magnetic behavior. All the complexes are of nickel, so let us revise what is nickel. Nickel is atomic number 28. Our rhyme, Shakti Walker, Man, Fe Ko Ni, Sujan. So that is 28. That becomes 4s2. 3d8, but because they are forming a complex, so degeneracy splitting will take place, the splitting of crystal field that we always remember. Because cyanide and CO are strong field ligands, so splitting will be large, so this will be T2G at lesser energy, EG at higher energy. What about nickel over here? Nickel is in +2 oxidation state. Nickel is in 0 oxidation state. Nickel is in +2 oxidation state. So for nickel in +2 oxidation state, the first one, for 2 electrons will be gone. So how many electrons are left? 8. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And after that, okay, if you are doing just for the hybridization and the number of unpaired electron, then you should do the VSEPR theory logic. What is VSEPR theory logic? Don't do like this, just make these d orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4. So because this is a strong field ligand, so you are left with 3d8 configuration. So forced pairing will take place. So as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It will be DsP2 hybridized and number of unpaired electrons will be 0. What about this? Sir, oxidation state is 0, so it will be having all the 10 electrons, but those electrons will also be pushed inside, so it will also be having no unpaired electrons, but its hybridization will be sp3 because no d orbitals are vacated in case of nickel carbonyl complex. Now, coming to this, this is also Ni+2, so because chlorine is a weak field ligand, so it will have a sp3 hybridization and number of unpaired electrons will be 2 because it is having 8 electrons. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these 2 unpaired electrons will make this complex paramagnetic. So I hope it is a piece of cake for you. Yes, Puresh is saying A. Gaurav Kumar is saying, sir, how do you know all the 3 parts of chemistry? Beta, I mean, I just, this is my job, so I know it. This is, so what is your answer, beta? First and second are diamagnetic and third is paramagnetic. So option first will be your right answer. Moving forward. Karthik, diagram was not given in structure of atom. Beta, atomic structure question, I haven't discussed yet. I mean, students have communicated that question, but it is still getting typed. So Kajal, perfect. Puresh, perfect. Moving to the next question. Now, this question is again, I'm telling you all the paper discussion, the 8 paper discussions that we have done previously on in those topics also. Whenever I made this thing a habit in the previous discussion, you can go and check. Whenever I used to discuss a question, I discuss all the theory around it, just to make you believe that if you read this theory, it is going to help you. If you are having some backlog, like someone else was saying, I'm having backlog. So all the backlog students read the theory and the questions around this theory will be asked. Leave about questions about this theory, the similar questions they are asking. Now, this is just the Kolbe's reaction, Kolbe and Remerteman reaction they have asked previously also. Now also they are asking. Now we know that CO2 will act as a electrophile, will be attacked by this electron-rich benzene, electron-rich phenol substituted ring. Because orthoisomer will be more stable because it will be having intramolecular hydrogen bonding stability. So what will be after acidification? What will be your major product? Sir, it will be simply salicylic acid. And this salicylic acid is involved in beautiful hydrogen intramolecular hydrogen bonding. We already know all this, sir. This has been asked to us. So this will be your Q, which is salicylic acid. Phenol is your P. Now it is an integer type question and it was asking you that you have to select the correct statements, and it is giving you one more information that this salicylic acid give FeCl3 test. Okay, it is saying maybe this P is giving FeCl3 test. Sir, even if it is phenol, even if it is this phenol substituted with carboxylic acid, all will give Fe. What does neutral FeCl3 test tells you? Whenever you have phenol, phenol forms a complex with Fe, the phenoxide ion, and this Fe ferric complex is visible to us. What is its color? It is an intense violet color complex. So whenever the solution becomes violet, it is a test of phenol. Puresh is saying wrong question. Beta, you can definitely add on, like Ayush has added on to our chemical kinetics question. So you can also add on what you feel was the question. You can serve that question. We'll discuss that, the thing that we have done with chemical kinetics, but we should know everything. So we got that options also for that chemical kinetics question. So if the question was this, then let us do that question and then I'll take that question also. Sir, this paper was good amount of first PU syllabus. First PU? What is PU, beta? Jeshwant, what is PU? First PU syllabus. Okay, so let us do this question. Statement one is saying Q is more acidic than P. Yes, Q is a carboxylic acid and carboxylic acid are stronger acids than phenol. So statement 1 is correct. Q and P both dissolve sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate as in which acid is stronger than carbonic acid H2CO3? Only carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid reacts with sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate and produces brisk effervescence due to production of CO2. Carboxylic acid is a stronger acid than H2CO3, which is carbonic acid, but not phenols. Now, this is an acidic nature. You have to understand, you have to learn. So, phenols are not stronger acid than carbonic acid. Therefore, they do not produce brisk effervescence. They do not react with sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. It is saying both Q and P react? No. This P do not react, but this, yes, this Q reacts. So because only Q reacts, therefore this statement is incorrect, while statement 3 is correct because it is saying 3 can react with sodium bicarbonate. So statement 1 is correct, statement 3 is correct. Now let us do statement 4. P and Q both dissolve, it should say both evolve, it should be evolved, both evolve hydrogen gas with sodium, yes. Any type of acid, even terminal alkynes, though any type of acid, even weak acids like terminal alkyne can react with sodium metal because it's an active metal and can furnish hydrogen gas forming the corresponding salt. So this fourth is also definitely correct. So how many options are correct? 3. So the integer type question would be, answer will be 3. Moving to, okay, this is the amount of questions I have got till date. So pressure, after 1 hour this video, okay, thank you. After 1 hour this video is going to have 10,000 views. Thank you, Su Du Anshu. Karthik is saying, but sir, incorrect पूछा था आपने क्वेश्चन ही गलत लिया है. Beta, this has been communicated. I'm again telling you the question that Ayush gave us. We got that question with option, so I have imported. So your feedbacks are definitely always entertained and welcomed, sir. Okay. So keep on asking doubts, beta. Whatever doubts you have, I guess it will be served. And yes, so I'll be coming up with more chemistry questions. Sumit sir is live.
So students, we are back with many more questions on physics. So till now, I hope everything is going fine. Physics questions are standard, we have seen. So not so much calculations as of now. Okay, so I'm waiting it. to be downloaded. Okay, now it's there. So everything is going fine till now in physics, and we have seen, I think, till now 4 questions we solved, and those 4 questions were easy, straightforward. Now another few questions are there with us. Let us see. Yeah, equation of EMF, this question we had done. Now some simple question from thermodynamics. What is asked here? The relation between pressure and volume is given. The net work done by the gas when volume changes from 1 to 3. Now this is not a standard process. Isothermal, isobaric, isochoric, okay, adiabatic, it's not there, not even polytropic. How to write the work done? Go with the fundamental. Work done is equals to integration of PdV, work done by the gas. What is P? P right from this expression. So this will become integration of V minus 2 whole square by 4A. This is my P. I wrote it there. dV integration V goes from 1 to 3. And what it is? Integration of V minus 2 whole square will be V minus 2 whole cube divided by 3. 3 into 4, this will become 12A. Okay, so limit goes from 1 to 3. Now put the limits. So this is 1 by 12 into, what is the limit? If we put V is equals to 3 there, so this will become 1 cube, which is equal to 1 minus. If I put the lower limit there 1, so it will become minus 1 cube, that is minus 1. So this will become 2 by 12, which is 1 by 6. Everything in SI units. So 1 by 6, A is also there. So 1 by 6A. Sir, I have chosen C for all the questions. Will I get plus marks? Yes, you have a good probability to get some positive marks, but it cannot be assured still. So far questions are easy only. Yes, Gaurav, you are correct. Question is incomplete. Sarthak Gupta is saying, Sarthak, it might be there that this question is incomplete because these are memory based question, you know. So there might be some, you know, something different that was being asked here, or some data might be missing. Thanks to all the teachers who are working so hard for us. Thank you for your appreciation. Okay. Memory based means things can be here and there. Like if I ask you, you are coming out of the exam, if I ask you, can you please tell me few questions? He'll say, sir, I remember 3-4 questions in physics. I'll say, okay, write those 3-4 questions. Now, when you write those 3-4 questions, what will happen? You may not be able to produce the questions exactly, isn't it? You will say, sir, there was one question where, you know, current carrying wires were there. Some distance was there, I think 4 centimeter, 5 centimeter, and I think force was asked on the middle one. So like this you will tell. So when I'll present that question, some student will say, "Arey sir, this question was not there. That was actually a different question." It can happen, isn't it? It was compression. Might be. It can be compression. Sir, maximum answer are B and C and D. Don't go with that. Don't go with that. Okay, there was a straight line from 3 to 1. Minus 1 by 6, it was compression. Might be. It was compression. Here it is expansion. Okay. In the actual question, some students are saying it was compression. It can be. If it was compression, it will become negative of that, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you for mentioning. Some students are mentioning that in the actual paper there was compression instead of expansion. It can be there. Okay. So there should be a mind reading machine for question. And next question, going with the next question. An object is being dropped from a height h above the ground. Apart from force of gravity, additional force minus kV is acting on the object. Now this is our drag force, isn't it? Drag force you have heard in Stokes law, isn't it? Like drag force is there, 6 pi r eta v. Now as the ball will come down, velocity will increase, isn't it? Initially, the drag force will increase. As the ball will come down, the velocity, initially the velocity was 0, drag force was not there, only gravity was acting. Now as it will come down, what will happen? Velocity will increase, drag force will increase. At a certain moment, it will happen that my drag force and mg will become same. means equal. When they will become, acceleration becomes 0. If the acceleration becomes 0, is it possible for velocity to change? No. Further, velocity will not change. So how it will go? It will go like this. And here, this is my terminal, and it will continue with terminal speed then. So direct hit, no need to solve or write any expression here. Okay. Next question. Electric current in a circuit is given like this. Find RMS current for period 0 to t is equals to t. Now here we can say period is t, isn't it? It is repeating after t. Yes. So how we write the RMS? IRMS is how we write? First take, this is RMS, first square, then take mean, then take root. So first square, then take mean. Mean means integrate it from 0 to the time period, divide with the time period. This becomes mean, and then take the root. This is how we write. Now just solve this expression. So this is root of this. What is I? I is I naught t by t. So I naught by t is my constant. T square will be there. Integration. This is constant, so taking that out, 0 to t divided by t. Now this integration will become t cube by 3. So this will become root of I naught by t whole square, and this is t cube by 3, and this is t here. You see this t and this t square, that will get cancelled with the t cube if you take whole out of the root. So this will become I naught by root 3. So IRMS comes out to be I naught by root of 3. That is option D. Sir, why all questions of physics in this way? In this was easy, Gaurav Kumar. It happens many times. Few of the shifts were a bit lengthy in physics. This shift seems to be easy as of now. This physics teacher is so good, man. Why Alexa isn't making him to teach in English batches? Okay, position of a particle is given by, this is how the position is varying, means it's a SHM. Potential energy is minimum at this. Okay, the minimum value of beta is where the potential energy becomes minimum. Potential energy, take example of a spring block system. When the block will be its at mean position, isn't it? There is no expansion, no contraction. Means potential energy is minimum at the mean position. This is my mean position. When the block or the particle will be at mean position, potential energy is minimum. At the extreme position, the potential energy is maximum. Now at t is equals to 0, the potential energy is minimum because the particle is at 0. Next time when it will be minimum, when it will come back like this, isn't it? It's oscillating like this and this. So next time it will be minimum when it goes to the extreme, then come back. How much is this? This is half of the oscillation. Half of the oscillation. So the time period will be t by 2. Half of the oscillation. Now I need minimum value of beta. Okay, so that becomes my 1, isn't it? So this is the time when potential energy is minimum. So beta comes out to be 1. Sir, maximum was asked. Okay, so some student is saying that in the actual question in the paper, instead of minimum, maximum was asked. If maximum was asked, we will take the extreme position. Okay, so this will be the extreme position when it is maximum. So how much is that? T by 4. From here till here, T by 4. Okay, then beta will become my 2. Okay, like that it will change. I am saying that these are memory based. So conceptually things are same, but not exactly. Okay, find the time, find the ratio of de Broglie wavelength of deuteron having energy E and alpha particle having energy 2E. Now how we write the de Broglie wavelength? Formula, lambda is equals to h by p. H by p, isn't it? P is my momentum. P is momentum, don't get confused. I can write mv also if you are confused. Okay, so can I relate momentum with the energy? Yes, I know that my energy, this I am writing as kinetic energy, this is half mv square. So I can write mv is equal to root of 2em. Putting it here, h divided by root of 2em. E into m. Okay, now when I take the ratio, now you see H is constant anyways, my lambda is inversely proportional to root of E into M. So if I say lambda 1 by lambda 2, that will be equal to root of E1, not E1, E2, inversely proportional na. So that is E2 into M2 divided by root of E1 into M1. Now we need to find the ratio of de Broglie wavelength of deuteron to that of alpha particle. So first my deuteron. What is E1 and M1 for deuteron? Deuteron energy is E, mass is 2 proton, you can say twice of the proton, 2m. Now for alpha particle, energy is 2E. What is the mass? 4m. M got cancelled, E got cancelled, this 2 got cancelled, root of 4 comes out to be 2. Root of 4 comes out to be 2. So there was a integer based question on current electricity. There was a diagram given and we had to find equivalent resistance x by 5. So we had to find value of x. There is one question I think we have on current electricity. Yeah, this question is there. I'm not sure whether the data was exactly same, the resistance values were exactly same or not, but this question is there in the memory base. So we will take that after these two questions. Yes, it was an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Karthik is saying, okay, thank you for telling. Yeah, we have an unbalanced Wheatstone bridge there. Okay, let us take it. A tap is at height 5 meter from ground. Water drops are falling from it in regular interval. Okay, like time is same. When first drop hits the ground, sixth droplet is just about to fall. Find the height of the fourth droplet from the ground. Let us take, this is my tap here, this is the ground, this total is 5 meter. When first droplet is here, okay, just about to hit the ground, this is my first. Sixth is there, just about to leave from the tap, so this is my sixth. So you may say in between my second, third, fourth, fifth will be there. So second, okay, or second, third, fourth, fifth, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Now what we need to find the height of fourth droplet from the ground when first droplet hits the ground. So when first droplet hits the ground, what is the height of the fourth droplet? Okay, time interval between each of the drop is same. Okay, I'm not able to see the comments. Sir, 30 questions solve in Tukka strategy. Vaibhav is saying. Okay, Vaibhav, so don't know how much you will get. Okay, now each interval is equal. Can I find how much is the total interval, the time it takes to drop by 5 meter? So half G into total interval T naught square is equal to 5. That is given to us. Okay, so 2 into 5, my T naught comes out to be 1 second. Means total intervals is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each interval is 1 by 5. So here also 1 by 5 second. Between these two, 1 by 5, 1 by 5, 1 by 5. So it means fourth droplet dropped for 2 by 5 seconds. Fourth droplet dropped for how much? 2 by 5 second. In 2 by 5 second, how much distance it will cover? Half G into T square. Like this. Now write it 5. So we are having 5 into 4 divided by 25. So 4 by 5 meter. So the fourth droplet dropped by a distance of 4 by 5 from the top. We need height from the bottom. So height will be total. What is that? 5 minus 4 by 5. 4 by 5 is 0.8. So this comes out to be 4.2 meter. That is option A. Hi sir, tension हो रही है, घर वाले क्या बोलेंगे? Vaibhav is saying, don't worry Vaibhav. If your January attempt is not okay, prepare for the April attempt. You have great hope. Okay, so make sure you are ready to bounce back. Don't get demotivated. It happens. It's okay. Like It's not, something, very extreme. No, it's okay, it happens. Like there are so many things. We enter in the exam hall, we have so much pressure, sometimes we panic, sometimes like in hesitation, or sometimes mind goes blank in the exam. These kind of things happens. So I will say, don't worry, okay, motivate yourself, be positive, and give your best efforts for the April attempt. Now prepare for April attempt. Sir, I attempted 70 questions and expecting 275 plus, but my parents' pressure is on me that they want under AIR 50. Just wanted to hear your advice. It happens, like parents' pressure are always there. Like I remember when JEE Advanced result came, and I was seeing, like checking my rank and all. It was decent, like I gave the first attempt, okay. So and my background was not that much great, understood. So I cleared JEE Advanced, rank was decent, and I called my father. I told, I got selected. My father told, how much is the rank? I told, yeah, this much is the rank. Oh, not so good, like there you could have done better, or like that. It happens, like Indian parents mentality, na, they want my child should be best. AIR one, nothing less than that. It happens with parents, okay. So don't worry about that. These type of things are common, okay. सर वो पर 4.2 ऑप्शन में नहीं था. There might be some changes in the questions. I am saying that there can be some changes in the exact question, okay. Now another question, if 10 kg of ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius, okay, is mixed with 100 kg of water at 25 degrees Celsius, then a resultant temperature in equilibrium for mixture shall be, okay. So we are having 10 kg ice, and this was at minus 10 degrees Celsius. Now we are mixing it with, it's a big thing, 100 kg water at 25 degrees Celsius. So how much will be the final temperature? This we need to mention. We will check here different conditions. First condition is, will the total ice will melt or not? Okay, first thing, like total ice will come to 0 degree Celsius or not. If it comes, then we will see, is it possible for the complete ice to melt? If the complete ice melts, then we will see, okay, then what will be the equivalent temperature finally? Okay, these type of things we'll see. Now first of all, let us see, if this entire water comes to 0 degree Celsius, how much heat it will release? Okay, if this total water comes to 0 degree Celsius, if it comes to 0 degree Celsius, how much heat it will release? Mass is 100 kg, so kilo thing will be there. Delta T MC, what is C? C is, this is in calorie per gram, so kilo will come, okay. So 1 into my delta T is 25, so this is 2500 kilocalorie, okay, if it comes to 0 degree Celsius. Now if my ice melts, if my ice comes to, let us take first 10 degrees Celsius, how much heat it will need? Okay, I am writing here minus 10 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. M is 10 into ice, specific heat is 1 by 2, 1 by 2 into delta T is 10 here. This will also be in kilocalorie, so this comes out to be 50 kilocalorie. 50 kilocalorie. Okay. Now this is 2500, too big. It means further it will go. Further it means, let us take, is it possible for this total ice to melt? Okay. Now I am writing for melting. How much heat? For melting it will take M into L. M into L is 80 calorie per gram. So 80. So this is 800 kilocalorie. This is 50 plus 8. Total 850. Here 2500. It means what? Temperature will go further. Temperature will not be 0 degrees Celsius. I got now temperature will be between 0 and 25. Okay, if temperature is between 0 and 25, how much heat this ice needs? It will need first 50, then this 800, then now it becomes water at 0. So M mass is 10 into C. For water I will take 1 into delta T. T final, I am taking final temperature to be T. 0 to, okay, T it is going. Final temperature is T. Now how much heat this water will release? M into C into delta T. 25 minus T. Yeah, initially 25, final T. This much heat it will release, and this we are equating with this equation. Now from here we need to find how much is T. This is 850 plus this is 10T, this is 2500 minus 100T. 110T, this gives us 110T is equal to, this is 2500, this is 850. Okay, if I subtract this 1650 it will become, and then this 11 into 1, 11 into 5, this comes out to be 15 degrees Celsius. 15 degrees Celsius, that is option B. Sir, you are from Chennai or Tamil Nadu, I am from Delhi. I ticked 15.9. Okay, so here option is 15 that we are getting. Why are you spamming same thing? Somebody is mentioning same thing again and again. Guys, vernier caliper 15 reading wala questions ka answer. Oh, don't know. Till now we received. Okay, now find the equivalent resistance. This is equivalent resistance question. So how we will do such type of question? This is asymmetric Wheatstone bridge. Asymmetric. Now there is a standard method to do this. Follow the steps. I am taking here battery is V, the current is I, my resistance will be V by I. This is how I am going to find. Okay, so let us take here current goes I1, here it goes I2. From symmetricity I can say here has to be I2, here it has to be I1, isn't it? From symmetricity I can say this is I1, this is I2, here it has to be I1, that has to be I2, and from junction rule here I can say this current will be I2 minus I1. Okay, now I am moving in loop. So first I am moving like this. First I am moving like this. So I can say V comes out to be 3I1 plus 6I2. 3I1 plus 6I2. Yeah. Next I am moving like this. Next I am moving like this. So V will become this. This is 3I1. Okay. And now minus. Okay, minus of that. Okay, here I was moving in the same direction, here I am moving in the opposite direction of the current. So minus of 3 into I2 minus I1, and then plus 3 into, that is my I1, okay, this becomes my V. Okay, so from here I need to relate I1 and I2. So I can equate these two. If I equate these two, it will become 3I1 plus 6I2 is equals to 3I1 minus 3 into I2 minus I1 plus 3I1. So this 3I1 is getting cancelled. Here we are having 6I2 is equals to, this is 3I1, this is minus 3I2, and here also 3I1. So this is 6I1 total minus 3I2. So this will become 9I2 is equals to 6I1. So my I2 comes out to be 2 by 3. Okay, I cancelled with 3, 2 by 3 I1. I2 comes out to be 2 by 3 I1. Thank you. Now, next thing is, let us put in one of the equation. I am putting, let us take in the first equation. If I put in the first equation, V will become 3I1 plus 6 into I2. I2 is 2 by 3I1. So 3 into 2, so this becomes 7I1. This is my V. So from here, V by I1 is 7. But I need V by I1 plus I2. Okay, V by I1 is my 7. I need I1 plus I2. Let me write I1 comes out to be V by 7. If I1 is V by 7, now put in this expression. Okay, what was that? R is equals to V divided by I1 plus I2. What was I2? I2 was 2 by 3 I1. So this is V divided by I1 plus 2 by 3 I1. This becomes V divided by 5 by 3 I1. What is I1? I1 is V by 7. Now put there V by 7. V divided by 5 by 3 into V by 7. Now this got cancelled. This becomes 21 by 5. 21 by 5, that is option A. Explain one more time. Sir, temperature difference पूछा था. Okay, might be temperature difference. The level of the paper is easy or hard? In physics, it's easy. Few of the questions you can say a bit moderate, otherwise everything is easy. Sir, so equivalent resistance was equal to x by 5 and the value of x was asked. If the value of x was asked, then that will be 21. Huh? That will be 21. Okay, thank you Tithi for mentioning that. Okay, so this is a bit lengthy question because this is not a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, this is unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Standard method, you know, to find that I have mentioned. Okay, so few more steps it takes. Otherwise, it is okay. Next question we are having. Let us read it. The threshold voltage for diodes is 0.7 volt. Means what? In the forward bias, when the current will go, okay, there will be a drop across the diode, that is 0.7 volt. Then current through diodes from right to left. Okay, anyways, we need current through the diodes. How much current through the diode? Now, this is in reverse bias. Anyways, here my current will be 0. These two are in forward bias, they will conduct. And in forward bias, how much will be the drop across them? 0.7. So, here the drop comes out to be 0.7. So, this is 0.7, this is 20 volt. How much will be the current here? 20 minus 0.7 divided by 200. Divided by 200. How much is this? Let me use calculator. So, this is 20 minus 0.7 means 19.3 divided by 200, and this comes out to be 96.5. 96.5 milliampere. Now, this total is coming, these two identical diodes, same current will go half. What is half of this? Half of this will become 48.25 milliampere. 48.25 milliampere. So, we are getting 48.25, 0, then 48.25 from left to right. Okay, is this okay? Sir, external resistance 0.3 K tha instead of 0.2 K. Somebody is saying 0.3. Yeah. Thank you for telling that. As I am saying again and again that these are memory based questions. So, these type of you can say differences you will see here. Radius of gyration about axis shown is root and find the value of n. About this axis we need to find the solid sphere and the radius is given as 10 centimeter. Okay. If I ask you how much is the moment of inertia about this axis passing through center of mass, you will say this is 2 by 5 mr square. Now use parallel axis theorem. How much is this distance? R is 10, this is 15. So I can say that is 3r by 2. Yeah. So this distance is 3r by 2. Now use parallel axis theorem, ICM plus mr square. So ICM is 2 by 5 mr square. ICM plus md square. M into distance is 3r by 2. So 3r by 2 square. This becomes the moment of inertia about this axis. Now how much it is? Mr square I am taking common. So this will become 2 by 5 plus 9 by 4. So mr square, and this is 36, sorry, this is 20 and this is 8 plus 45. So this will become mr square into how much it is 53 divided by 20. Now when we write radius of gyration, we write moment of inertia I as mk square. So where k becomes my radius of gyration. So k comes out to be r root of 53 by 20, like this. What is r? 10 centimeter. Here this is mentioned in the centimeter. Put r as 10 centimeter. Okay, I am taking 10 inside the root, so this will become 53 into 120 into 5. So this 5 comes here. So this comes root of 15 126 there, 265. 265, root of 265 comes here. Sir, overall how was the paper? Physics paper was standard, okay, nothing complex. As of now, one question was a bit lengthy, unbalanced Wheatstone bridge, okay, finding the R equivalent there, that was a bit lengthy, otherwise everything is fine. Next question. Find external force so that block can move on inclined plane with a constant velocity as shown. Okay, the block moves on the inclined plane with a constant velocity as shown. It means constant velocity is in the downward direction. So the block is moving in the downward direction. If this block is moving in the downward direction, where the friction will act? Friction will act in this direction. Will this friction be kinetic or static? Block is moving, friction has to be kinetic. Another force, you can say force due to gravity, mg is there, okay. This component will be mg sin theta. This component will be mg cos theta. That will be equal to my normal. So my normal is equals to mg cos of 30. And this kinetic friction will be mu into n, because this is kinetic. So mu into mg cos 30. Now here this force, downward force is mg sin 30. Upward force is F plus mu mg cos 30. Equate that, because velocity is constant means acceleration is 0. So mg sin 30 comes out to be, upward force is my F plus mu mg cos of 30. What is mg sin 30? My mg sin 30 is, okay, block mass is 50, okay. Anyways, I can write it like this. F comes out to be mg, I am taking common. This is sin 30 minus mu cos of 30. Now what is mg? Mg is 50. Mg is, sorry, mass is 50, so mg is 500. Sin 30 is 1 by 2 minus what is mu? Mu is root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2. This is 3 by 4, this is 1 by 5, this comes out to be negative. Negative means actually we need to apply the force in that direction. Anyways, I don't know the data was same or not, okay, so it might be like that. Anyways, let us put the values together. Minus, this becomes 3 by 4, this is 2 by 4 minus 3 by 4, how much is that? 1 by 4 minus into 500, so this becomes minus 125. Minus 125, anyways the magnitude is given 125. So this force is actually in that direction, then only it will move with a constant velocity. So this question was wrong. That was a solid sphere question. I don't know, like memory based things. In the exam, one question came, a nodal surface. What answer was, I think, asking from other students? They just gave a block moving on inclined plane and asked what is the minimum force so that block goes down without acceleration. We took it like this. Okay. Next question. Find work done in bringing charge, that is 3 nanocoulomb, from infinity to point A as shown in the figure. Okay. So we are bringing a charge from infinity to this point A. How much will be the work done? Work done is equal to change in the potential energy. How much will be the change in the potential energy? The potential here into the charge that is coming. Okay. So let us take here the potential is V. So I will say my work done is basically the potential V into the charge. Charge is my Q, whatever that Q is coming. So we need to find basically here potential V. How to write potential? Due to a point charge KQ by R. So due to each of them I will write. Let us write due to this one. So K is 9 10 to the power 9. Q is 3 nanocoulomb divided by R is 3 centimeter plus due to this KQ by R. So K into Q is 1 nanocoulomb divided by R is 3 centimeter. This is my potential. I'll put this potential here. So work done will become, okay, K I am taking common. This is 3 nano means 10 to the power minus 9 divided by 3 centimeter means 10 to the power minus 2 plus this again 1 nano, so 10 to the power minus 9 divided by 10 to the power minus 2, okay, into what is my charge that I am bringing, that is my 3 nanocoulomb, so that is 3 into 10 to the power minus 9. Everything seems fine. K I'll put as 9 into 10 to the power 9, okay, let us write directly here. So K is 9 into 10 to the power 9, okay, so this 10 to the power minus 9 is getting cancelled, this 3 is getting cancelled, from inside we will have 2 into 10 to the power minus 7, so this will become 9 into 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 into 3, so that is 36 into 10 to the power minus 7 joules. Everything I wrote in SI, so answer will also be in SI, that is B option. Sir, it must be greater than 125. No, we are moving with constant speed, okay, we are moving with constant speed. The friction is not static, friction is not static, friction is kinetic. Kinetic friction is constant, mu n. Okay Anil, I hope you got the point. Okay, now we have for now we have done so many questions in physics. I think now, okay, Deependra sir will join. Okay, so Deependra sir, it's over to you. Let me see if Deependra sir is there. Waiting for the response. Okay, now Deependra sir will join. Deependra sir, it's over to you. End the stream.
Visible to all the participants. Can we go ahead with that? Let's quickly see whether we are visible or not, and Sumit sir has ended the stream or not, so that we get the conclusion. So I think Sumit sir must have ended it. Am I clearly visible and audible, all the participants? Just give me a quick confirmation. I'm refreshing my screen so that I can check and verify whether we are visible or not. So I think Sumit sir hasn't ended it so far. Okay, I think we are there. Great. So let's get started. After a long marathon of physics, we can now focus back on mathematics. Great. So we can see a lot of comments. Let's get started with this part. Find the value of. Now, nothing could be easier than this in IIT JEE. How? Have a look at that part. First of all, let's keep this aside. Minus 1 to the power k plus 1. We'll work it out later. But when I look at this particular data, k plus 1 by k factorial, how will I work or deal with this particular expression? I'll say that, see here, if I nullify this k with this k factorial, I'll be left with k minus 1 factorial. Everyone comfortably understanding this? But now when I wish to get rid of this k minus 1 factorial, can I do something here? We all can. So this is summation where k is ranging from 1 to infinity, and then I'm given minus 1 to the power what? K plus 1. But now if I could split it, this is k plus 1. But if I could write it in terms of k minus 1, can we do so? Yes, let's try and do so. So when I try to do so, all I'll be writing it as numerator k plus 1, I'll be writing as k minus 1. Of course, if I'm having a minus 1, so I got to add plus 2 here, divided by what? K minus 1 factorial. So that k minus 1 factorial I'm splitting here and here. I hope you all are comfortably understanding whatever I'm doing here without any confusion. Everyone with me on this? Can I move ahead with that? From here, when I rearrange this, when I do some more calculation here, so here it is summation, k is ranging from 1 to infinity. This is of course minus 1 to the power k plus 1. Now let's work out this data. K plus 1 upon k minus 1 factorial. I hope all you can see is k minus 1 is cancelled. In the denominator, we are left with k minus 2 factorial. Everyone with me on this? Plus this is of course 2 divided by k minus 1 factorial. Everyone comfortably understanding this? With that, if I could introduce this minus 1 to the power k plus 1 inside, if I could introduce this minus 1 to the power k plus 1 inside, so this is what we have here. I hope you can say so. And here, if I introduce the same expression minus 1 to the power k plus 1 inside, so here it will also be minus 1 to the power k plus 1. Now, why did we do this? I want you all to look at this expression and this expression. These two sequences, if you are comfortable or more convenient with the observation you should make here, would give you a great complete clarity towards the options or towards the answer. 2 steps question it was, if you are aware of some basics. How? Look at this part. I'll start putting certain values of k. So if I begin with 1, it is 1 plus 1, which is 2, which means e1. Minus 1 to the power e1 is 1, so it will be 1 by 1 minus 2. Of course, minus 1 factorial, which is not defined, which is 0. So here, which is of course not defined, so I got to get rid of it. So where will I begin with? I'll begin with something which I know. So I'll begin with 2 minus 2 factorial. I hope you're understanding it. That's great, students. I'm glad a lot of students have started responding. That's good, Tithi. That's good, Ojas. That's brilliant. Great, 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 great. So I hope everybody is realizing that this and this is clearly matching with something we know as in terms of e to the power x. Do you remember that? But certain changes are needed to be made. So if I could begin with 2, I'll say 2 minus 2 is 0 factorial, and here 2 plus 1 is 3, so it will give me minus 1. Plus, when I introduce 3 here, 3 minus 2, 1 factorial, 3 plus 1 is 4. So this will give me 1 by 1 factorial. Then again, I'll have the next term, which will be negative, because alternatively it will be positive, negative. So with that, when I have introduced 4, it will be 4 minus 2. So denominator will have 2 factorial, but 4 plus 1, 5, which means odd, it will give me minus 1, and so on until infinity. I hope you are clearly getting this. With that, when I take this 2 outside, what am I now left with? Again, the same expression, minus 1 to the power k plus 1 upon k minus 1 factorial. Here, if I could begin with k as 1, so if I am introducing k as 1, 1 minus 1 is 0 factorial, and this is 1 plus 1, so this will be plus 1. Everyone is understanding this very clearly. I repeat my part if you have gotten confused with that. Here, 1 minus 1 is 0, so this is 0 factorial, which is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, minus 1 to the power 2, which is even, which is 1. With that, when I try k as 2, here I'll be having 1 factorial, but here 2 plus 1 is 3, which means it will be minus 1. So I hope you can clearly see a great resemblance here, which is again leading me towards infinity. Now, what I'm trying to make you understand is, can you help me with e to the power x, or rather its expansion? So I hope you all must remember e to the power x is clearly 1 plus x to the power 1 by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial, and so on until infinity. Do you remember this expansion? Now, all I'm asking you to put your focus on few things. I hope you understood this. 1 upon 0 factorial plus x to the power 1 upon 1 factorial, and so on. So if I could ask you to relate this data, this particular part, this first part, then would you not say that this clearly matches with e to the power minus x? So if, let's say, e to the power what? 1, e to the power minus 1, because if I'm replacing x by minus 1, what do I get? I hope you will clearly see that I'll start getting terms with what? I hope this is not confusing at all. If it is x square by 2 factorial, this was x to the power 1 by 1 factorial, and this was x to the power 0 by 0 factorial. So this is how it goes, without any confusion or hesitation. So when I replace x by minus 1, I hope you are understanding, this still remains 1. This still remains minus 1. So if I could begin with this data, 1 minus 1 is 0 plus x square by 2 factorial. So this will be 1 by 2 factorial. Then this will be minus 1 by 3 factorial, and so on until infinity. So can I do some clear modification here? 1 by 1 factorial minus 1 by 2 factorial. This clearly gives me a good data that here minus 1 plus 1 is 0. So this clearly is matching with our relation here. 1 by 2 factorial, minus 1 by 3 factorial, and so on. The only change is that, sir, here it is minus 1 by 2 factorial, but in our data, it is plus 1 by 2 factorial. So if I could multiply both the sides by negative sign, it will match with our data. So this is clearly what? Minus e to the power minus 1. So first expression is here, minus e to the power minus 1. Are you comfortably understanding this? With this data, I hope you wouldn't hesitate in saying that, sir, this is clearly, if I could make you match with it, it is clearly e to the power again minus 1, because here also I am seeing 1 minus 1, so this gets cancelled. So I'm again left with what? Plus. I'll write the next term so that you get more clarity. It is 1 by 2 factorial, then minus 1 by 3 factorial, and so on. So it is clearly this expression only, which is e to the power minus 1. So this gives you e to the power minus 1, but 2 times of it. So it is 2 times e to the power minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So e to the power minus 1, that is 1 by e, and option C needs to be marked on that basis. Okay, so MP Shankna Dalau is saying ABC is 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, we'll solve it if it was there. And by the way, great all the participants. Can we move from this question to the next question? I hope you all are clearly realizing that questions were straightforward, simple and easy and perfectly doable. Can we now look at this particular one? Look at this one. F be a real valued function where f is x square plus 1 given by this. Now we are asked 0 to 3 f of x dx. Great. How do we solve this particular one? Definite integration based question, but transformation of graphs or basically transformation of function is required here. How do we do that part? I hope you all can see it very clearly. I'll say that if I try to get rid of this x square, can I replace x square by t? So when I replace x square by t, I'll have the function as f of t plus 1. Of course, if I've replaced x square by t, there is a correction here. It should have been x to the power 4, I believe so. So x to the power 4 becomes t square and this becomes 5d plus 2, right? Let me just check this data so that we don't commit any error. Let me just check the data. We have the question x to the power 4 plus 5x square plus 2. Yes, that's the correct data. With that, when I move ahead, I hope there is no confusion with that. This is f of t plus 1. This is f of x. Now let me make one more change here. Can I replace t plus 1 by, let's say, k? I hope you're understanding whether I write f of x, f of t or f of k. It doesn't matter in definite integration. So with that, this is 0 to 3 f of x. So let's say I'm replacing t plus 1 by k. So I hope I wouldn't hesitate in saying that dt will be dk. I hope you're understanding it, but the limits would definitely change. With that, when I write this expression, this is what f of t plus 1. F of t plus 1 is this. I hope you're understanding it. So with that t plus 1, I'm willing to replace by k. I hope everyone is understanding this very clearly. So when I replace t plus 1 by k, this f of x, what is the question? 0 to 3 f of x. I hope dx is what we are asked. So this x, I hope I could have replaced by k or t as well without any hesitation. That's great. Atharv is saying option 4. Okay, great. That's great. So we'll definitely verify it. So here, instead of f of x, what I want is, let's say I replace it by f of k. What's wrong with this board? So here I'm writing it as f of k dk. I hope this entire expression without any hesitation can be written as this. Maths was so lengthy. Yes, Tithi, it is always lengthy. Maths is always lengthy. You got to face it. You got to accept that fact that maths is always lengthy. Either it is conceptually tough, or if it is not conceptually tough, they'll make it, moderate or difficult by introducing a lot of calculation. Great. So with that, I'm willing to replace this f of k by what? K I'm replacing by t plus 1. So when you replace k by t plus 1, what you do here is, of course, f of what? T plus 1. I hope you're understanding. K I'm replacing by t plus 1 with dt, because dk is dt. But the only change which you now need to bring is when k is 0. When k is 0, I hope you're understanding it. T will be what? K minus 1. So when the limit k was 0, t will be 0 minus 1, that's minus 1. And when k is 3, t will be 3 minus 1, that's 2. I hope now the job is done. You are asked 0 to 3 f of x f of k dk, which I have written as 0 to 3 f of x dx, which is exactly what we are asked. Now f of k I have replaced by f of t plus 1. Now I think the job is very simple. You all can do it very clearly, very easily. I'll say f of t plus 1, I'll replace by what? I'll replace by t square plus 5t plus 2, and with that minus 1 to 2 is what the limit you are supposed to put. And I don't think that you need to solve this question further, or I need to tell you the answer to this question. T square becomes t cube by 3. This is 5t square by 2 and this is 2t. C is not there because it is definite integration. You put the upper limit and lower limit, and with that the final answer which you would get would be 33 by 2 as per my calculation, and option C will be the correct answer. Can we skip that part? I hope you have comfortably understood that calculation. Can I move ahead with that towards the next question for the day? What do you see we in the next question? An interesting one and a question based on limits. How do we solve this particular one? Can we solve this question right here? So I am seeing 2.99k subscribers right there in front of me. Let's see whether we reach 3k subscribers with this question or not. So let's solve this. So by the time I end this question, I'll definitely go to this subscribers number, and I'd like to see that whether we have touched 3k or not. But I'll be really happy if you could help us in achieving that milestone or adding that feather to our cap. Again, a very simple question. Have faith in me. Why? Because here X is approaching 0. So when X approaches 0, I hope I need not tell you, sec 0 is 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, what? ln1. ln1 means what? ln1 means 0. This is also 0. So e square minus e square is 0. So this is clearly a 0 by 0 form. So the moment you see a 0 by 0 form, you must be having that idea of L'Hopital rule. But instead of applying L'Hopital rule directly, go ahead with one more conclusion, which says that here log of m into n into o into p into q into r. So log m plus log n plus log n, like that identity can be used. So with that, I'll be writing the numerator as ln of sec of ex. I hope you're understanding what I'm doing here. Plus ln of sec of e square x, I hope you are getting it, and so on until the last term is achieved, which is ln of sec of e to the power 10x. Everyone comfortably understanding what I'm suggesting here? With that, what about the denominator? One more thing you can do in the denominator without any hesitation. So options are wrong. We'll totally get that, Tithi. No worries in that. We'll match and verify. If we don't get the correct answer, we'll definitely take whichever option you are saying is correct. We'll definitely get that. But as of now, let me try solving this question with the help of the data we have received. The data may change, but you got to understand that you should understand the concept, the logic, the category of question, the difficulty level they are throwing at you. Okay, Tithi. So with that, in the denominator, when I take this e square common, I'm left with 1 minus cos x without any hesitation. Are you all comfortably understanding what I'm doing here? With that, I have seen this as 0 by 0 form. So with that 0 by 0 form, can I not use L'Hopital rule without any hesitation or confusion? So somebody is saying, sir, I totally get that, Alansh, but with that, I'm totally getting that option could be wrong. But let's try solving this question based on this data. If with this data I get an option which matches with one of the options, then it could be correct. Otherwise, the question may be incorrect, the data may be incorrect, and that is perfectly fine. Why are you so much concerned about the options? Why are you not interested in understanding the concept or the logic or the approach? I hope you're understanding the intent very clearly here. Can I move ahead with that? Great. So we know that L'Hopital rule says numerator and denominator should be differentiated separately. With that, when I start differentiating this, ln of sec of ex. So log of something, 1 upon this, and sec of this will be sec x 10x, but as per the chain rule, ex when differentiated gives you e. So sec of ex into 10 of ex upon sec of ex. So sec x gets cancelled, 10 of ex I'll be left with into e. So I can see a clear pattern, e times 10 of ex is what I'll get from here. Everyone with me on this? Same derivative I'll find here. The only change will be this e square will become the coefficient here, and it will be 10 of e square x. Are you comfortably understanding this? And so on until the last term, which will give me e to the power 10 of what? E to the power 10x. Everyone with me on this? Are you all comfortably understanding, listening, and clearly getting this? With that, I hope I need to differentiate the denominator as well. With that, all I'll say is e square stays outside, but here 1 minus cos x. So derivative of 1 is 0, minus cos x becomes what? Sin x. Are we all going great? So this leaves you with sin x. I hope there is no confusion on that. Can I move ahead from here? Okay. No, don't worry about that, Alansh. Even if you don't get stressed about it. It is clearly a memory-based paper. The data we have received from you guys only. So don't worry about that. Just understand the approach. If you have applied the same approach. Okay, but now let's solve with this data, JEE Aspirant. Then of course, we'll come back to your data as well in some time. So as of now, let me try solving this data. So with that, I can clearly see 10 and sine. So there, if 10 and sine are approaching 0, with x approaching 0, I need x in the denominator. No worries with that, JEE Aspirant. No worries with that. So first of all, I'll introduce an x here. So I got to multiply an x here. So that x I'm introducing here. So 10ex by x, 10e square x by x, and so on until this 10 e to the power 10x by x. But still there is a catch here. It is ex. So I'll introduce one more e here. This is e square. So there one more e square is needed to be introduced. So this is e to the power 4. So this becomes ex. Now this becomes e square x. Similarly, and so on until this last term is achieved. Here it will be e to the power 10x. So with that, e to the power 10 needs to be multiplied here. That will give me e to the power 20. Are you all there? Are you all there? Great, great, great. Thank you so much for being so considerate. Don't do too much. Okay. So I hope we are done with this part now. I hope we are very clearly done with this part where I'm saying that here, this is approaching 1. This is approaching 1. All of these 10x upon x and sin x upon x are approaching 1. So what am I now left with? I'm left with e square e to the power 4 until e to the power 20. I hope you're getting it. Divided by e square. So when that e square comes into picture, it will be 1 plus what? The next term will be e square. Then you will have e to the power 4 because the next term will be e to the power 6 by square is what? E to the power 4 until e to the power 20 divided by e square leaves you with e to the power 18. Will you not help me in writing this summation? This is clearly a GP. This is clearly a GP, and if it is a GP, if it is a GP, what are you guys writing in the comment box? Yes. So if it is a GP, you know how to find the sum of it. The first term is given by A. The common ratio is clearly E square. So the sum of, clearly they are 19 terms. Mind you students, they are 19 terms. It started with e to the power 0. So it is given by A, which is 1, into R. R is E square to the power N. So there are 19 terms. There are 19 terms, right? So e to the power R to the power N minus 1 upon clearly, what am I saying? R to the power N minus 1 upon R minus 1. I hope everyone is with me so far without any confusion on that. No. Abrani, you wouldn't use A upon 1 minus R. That is the sum you use for infinite terms. That calculation you don't do here. That's great. I'm glad that you have highlighted it and you have seen it. So with that, I hope you can do the calculation. That part is definitely doable. And with that, you can mark the correct option, which is definitely not a tough task. Can we go ahead with that? I hope from here it is really simple and you all can do it very easily. Can I move ahead with that question? Let's solve another question right there in front of us. How do we do that? Yeah, no worries with that, Abrani. I'm glad that you're realizing, and that's how we are trying to help you with these sessions so that you stay updated with the questions, the kind of questions, the level of questions, and more importantly, the category of questions which are visible so that you can be conceptually right. That's the intent. Great. So with that, let's solve this question. Consider a circle C1 passing through origin and lying in the region x greater than equal to 0, which means it is not lying on the negative side of x-axis, which means in the second quadrant or third quadrant. So if I now draw the circle, this clearly is your x-axis. Wow, beautiful. This is clearly your y-axis. No, not beautiful. So this I think is beautiful now. Now I need to draw a circle which is passing through origin. So if I wish to draw a circle which passes through origin, then of course that circle could go like this. But if this circle passes through origin, the problem is that this circle is having some of its part lying on the negative side of x-axis. So the only way you can make a circle pass through origin would be going somewhat like this. Are you all not accepting this as a fact? No, there were not 19 terms, killer gaming guy. Please understand, in the previous question there were did I say 19? I'm really sorry. I made a mistake. Yes, thank you so much for highlighting that. There will be, see, this is e to the power 0. This is e to the power 18. So basically, e to the power 0 is first term. So 18 means what? 9 plus 1. So there are 10 terms. I'm really sorry for that. Yes. There will be 10 terms. I'm really sorry for that. So with that, it will be e square to the power 10 minus 1. I hope now you can do it by yourself. From that, when I go ahead with that, here, let me get back to this particular one. I hope there is no data or no confusion on that. How do we figure out this 18? Because this is what? E to the power 0. This is e to the power 0. This is e square. So until e to the power 18, what? This is 2 into 9. And this is what? 2 into 0. So from 0 to 9, there are 10 terms. I hope you are understanding how did I do it. No worries, JEE Aspirant. I think with that, we'll do a little bit different calculation, but that I'll introduce. Don't worry about that. Great. Okay, no worries with that. Can we move ahead with that? So when I go back to the question which we all were discussing, let's focus on this question now. Now, what do we do here? That with the diameter 10, so this circle has a diameter 10. So if this circle has a diameter 10, will you not hesitate that this is symmetrically placed and it will have its center on the x-axis? So if this length is the diameter, its radius will be 5. So I hope you wouldn't hesitate in saying that, sir, this point here is going to be 5, 0. Everyone with me on this? This is your circle C1. Great. That's great. So with that, this is a circle C1. Consider a chord PQ of C1 with equation x is equal to y. So y is equal to x, a straight line. And this is a chord PQ. Okay, so this is a chord PQ. So I hope you all can relate it. I'm really sorry. You all can relate it that here, if there is a chord PQ is being drawn, so this will be that chord. Will you all agree with that? with this chord PQ, I hope you all must agree that, sir, if you ask me about point P, I would not hesitate in saying that point P will be having the coordinate 0, 0. Logarithm, this is a PWJEE English channel, and I would be refraining myself from speaking in Hindi. I'm really sorry for that. So you got to stick to English only here at this stage on this particular channel. With that, we are given that PQ is the chord. PQ is the chord, so other end will be Q. So now, can you not write the equation of the circle? I hope you all must agree that, sir, the equation of the circle will be x minus 5 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is equals to 5 square. And this circle is intersecting with the line y is equals to x. So all you got to do is replace this y by x, it will become a quadratic in x, and when you solve that quadratic in x, you will see the point of intersection. So can I write that point of intersection directly, skipping that calculation? So when you write that point of intersection comes out as 5, 5. I hope you can do that. All you need to do is replace this y by x, it becomes a quadratic in x. With that quadratic in x, one of the roots will be 0, other root will be 5. Since it is y is equals to x, 0, 0, 5, 5. Comfortable? Great. Now what I do next is, what are we told? Another circle C2 which has PQ as its diameter. Now there is a circle which has PQ as its diameter. Okay. So now there I got to draw one more circle. Which is having PQ as its diameter, right? So PQ should be the diameter of that circle. I hope this is how that circle will be there. So this circle is having its center on PQ because PQ is behaving as the diameter, where I know the extremes P and Q 0, 0 and 5, 5. So I could very clearly write the equation of this circle, which we don't need right now. But if I ask you the center of this circle, will you not say that it will be the midpoint of PQ, because PQ are the extremes of the diameter? With that, you will say, sir, this is the center. Are we given the coordinates of the center? So far, no. But if I could write the coordinates of the center here, it will be 5 by 2, 5 by 2. Will you all agree with that? Some basic coordinate geometry is being applied here. That's brilliant, Abrani. That's perfect. That's great. With that, when I say that PQ, a chord is drawn to C2. So now this was your circle C1 and this is your circle C2. So to the circle C2, there is a chord which is drawn passing through 2, 3, which is not a matter of concern. We will ensure that a chord is passing through 2, 3. But what are we told next? We are told such that distance of chord from center of C2 is maximum. So this is C2, which is having its center. Do you remember a property we have been teaching you in this in classroom programs lately, that here, if there is a chord passing through a fixed point and it is at a maximum distance from the center of the circle, it should be, if it is maximum distance, then that point 2, 3 should be the midpoint of the chord. Do you remember that? I repeat, if there is a fixed point through which a chord passes and it is at a maximum distance from the center of the circle, which will be possible only when this point is the midpoint of that chord. So if that property needs to be applied, I'll say there is one more chord which is passing through a fixed point 2, 3. So I'll say 2, 3 lies somewhere here. So let's say this is the point 2, 3 from where the chord is passing. So let's say this is a line, basically a chord which is passing through 2, 3, which is indeed passing through 2, 3. So this point here is 2, 3. Now we know if this chord is at a maximum distance from the center of the circle, then it will be having 2, 3 as its midpoint. Do you remember that property? So with that, I'll say that here this will be a perpendicular distance. Will you all not agree with that? This will be a perpendicular distance. So with that, when I now proceed with the data, what are we told? Such that distance of the chord C2 is maximum has this equation. So I got to find out the equation of this chord. Circle and straight lines are merged basically. How will I solve this particular question now? See, I will be saying that this line is what I need to figure out. So can I figure out the slope of this line? So to figure out the slope of this line, I'll be saying it will be 5 by 2 minus 3, 5 by 2 minus 3, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. I hope you are comfortably understanding this. This is the slope of the line, which I can figure out very easily. So this slope turns out to be how much? 2 into 3 is minus 6. So 5 minus 6 is how much? 5 minus 6 is minus 1, I believe so. And this is 5 minus 4, which is 1. So the slope turns out to be minus 1. If the slope is minus 1, this is the slope of this perpendicular line. So this slope will be 1. So this slope is 1, which means what? This line will be y is equals to mx. M is 1, so mx plus c. But I know that this line is passing through a fixed point 2, 3. So if this line passes through a fixed point 2, 3, 2, 3 must satisfy the equation of this line. Everyone with me this? That's great, Abraham. That's great. Why are we using t is equal to s1 killer gaming? T is equal to s1 is not needed here. we can do, but why are we applying that t is equal to S1? Okay, 1 point form, you could have done that, but I think this is also a very easy approach. Yes, the chord, the equation of the chord whose midpoint is given, you can write the equation of that. But for that circles equation, yes, that is also a very good approach, Killer. That's great, Killer. That's great. That's brilliant. I'm glad you answered it. Perfect. That is a really good approach. So instead of doing all this, you could have, applied one more approach, t is equal to S1, where I hope you understand. For this, you need to write the equation of the circle C2. There you define t with respect to 2, 3, and then you define S1 with respect to 2, 3, the power of point 2, 3 with respect to the circle C2. Through that also, you could have gotten the answer. Perfect, brilliant. I hope from here, once you make it pass through 2, 3, you can get the values of x and y. I mean, put these values here, you can get C, and that will give you the equation of the straight line, which when you match with this line, can help you in cracking the values of a and b, and you can easily crack b minus a. If you wish to verify it with the help of my answer, which I have received, so with that, you receive C as 1, so it will be x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. From here, I think it will be a very simple task cracking the value of a and b, because when 2 and 3 are pushed here, 3, 2, 1. So C is 1, of course. I hope. That's great, great, great. This nice alternative approach was suggested by Killer, actually, Killer Gaming Guy. I wasn't the one who could, highlight that or strike that. And that's exactly what we keep pushing here in these classes, that when you watch these lectures, do ensure or do remember that you are definitely allowed to come up with your own suggestions, because sometimes something very simple and very basic is not thought by the teacher, but students do suggest such amazing ideas, out of the box ideas. Brilliant. Both of the approaches are perfectly nice, great, and we can go ahead with the next question based on differential equations. Now, how do we solve this particular one? Let's have a look at that. A question based on differential equations. So y is equals to fx satisfies the differential equation x dy by dx minus sin dy minus sin 2y x cube cos square y, and y1 is given as pi by 4. Everyone with me on this? Then y pi by 3 is what we need to figure out. How do we solve this? An easy one. What's the answer of this question? Athar, come on. Can you not find out the answer from there? B minus a. Compare the coefficients, the ratio of them, and then you can find B minus a. Why should I tell you the answer then? Athar, come on. Don't ask such silly questions. B minus a, anybody can do that. After looking at this, we are given the line as x plus ay plus b. So coefficient of x are same, which means coefficient of y will also be same. So a will be minus 1, b will be 1. So with b minus a, 1 minus minus 1, that's 2. Are we really wasting our time like this? Can you not do this much silly calculation by yourself if you're writing IIT JEE? With that, yes, look at this question. This may be converted into a linear. I hope you're not offended. With that, can I not convert this equation, this differential equation, into a linear differential equation? Let's try and do that. So here, let me divide this equation, this equation by both sides, on both sides, by x cos square y. I'm trying to have a term in x here, totally here. So dy by dx, p of x into y is equals to q of x. So cos square y and x, to eliminate this x. So when I do that, I'm dividing both the sides by x cos square y. So x gets cancelled by x, cos square y becomes sec square y. So this is sec square y dy by dx minus sin 2y, can I write as 2 sin y cos y, and when I'm dividing it by x cos y, so this x cos y I introduce here. I hope you all are understanding it comfortably. X cos square y it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And it is x cos square y, so I'm left with x square here. Are we going great, students? Just give me a confirmation. Wrong question is said by some of the students. Okay, we totally get that. But this is the data we have received as a memory-based question. So let me solve this question. Of course, there could have been some slight change in the data, which will definitely look after the session. Can I move ahead from here? So when I do this particular part, when I solve this particular part, what I clearly see is that here, I hope we have done the correct calculation. I'm dividing it by x cos square y. So this leaves you with sec square y. This is x cos square y here. And this is x square. Cos square y is eliminated. With that, when I rearrange this data, this is sec square y dy by dx minus, of course, this cos y and cos y are cancelled. So here you are left with minus 2 by x into sin y, and there you are left with x square. And everyone with me on this? I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, what change I'm suggesting here to be made is that can we take this sec square y as something? If I take this sec square y as something, I will be getting, see, this will not be sin y first of all, this will be sin upon cos, that's tan y. So instead of that sec, yes, now Can we not convert it into Bernoulli's differential equation? Great. That's great, Killer Gaming Guy. I totally get that, boy. I totally get that. Chilaka ni Monica. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If it is a wrong question, definitely perfectly fine with that. But this is what we have received as a memory-based question, and now I got to solve this. If you have the correct data, do share it. We'll definitely reflect it in the presentation. With that, if I now convert it into a Bernoulli's differential equation, how will I do it? I'll say that, sir, 10y can be taken as, let's say, t. With that, I'll say sec square y dy can be taken as dd. Everyone with me on this? Great, great. Now, when I do or go ahead further with this calculation, I hope you all can see it very clearly. Sec square y dy is clearly dt. So this gives you dt by dx minus, what do we get here? Minus 2 by x. And there 10y we have taken as t is equal to what? X square. So that's a clear linear differential equation, solving which is definitely not a tough task. Sec 2y dt. No. It will be sec square y. Acha, you're not able to write that square. Yes. Take my name. I wouldn't now. With that, can I now find out the integrating factor? We all can. How do we find out? Because it is clearly the linear differential equation. So when you try to solve this, integrating factor is given by what? E to the power minus integration of minus 2 by x. So minus 2 I keep outside, 2 by x dx. So this is clearly e to the power minus 2 ln x. This is exactly what we have been doing in all the shifts. Linear differential equation based question, and this is how we are solving them. So from here, can I write the solution directly? So this is your integrating factor. With that, how do you write the solution? Your solution is given by y. What is y? Y is basically t here. So t into integrating factor, that is e to the power minus 2 ln x, is equal to integration of q of x. What is q of x? That's x square times e to the power minus 2 times ln x. I'm really sorry, this minus e to the power minus 2 times ln x can also be simplified into something where I can take this minus 2 there, so e to the power e to the power ln to the power x to the power minus 2. So I can write it as 1 upon x square. I'm really sorry for that. I hope you're understanding it now very clearly. Great. So with that, I'll be writing it as integrating factor 1 upon x square into y, but y is t in this case. So t can I substitute by 10y? So it is going to be 10y is equal to integration of integrating factor. What is integrating factor? Integrating factor is 1 by x square into q of x. So 1 by x square into x square is 1. So 1 dx plus c. I hope from here it is not a tough task. Can I write the calculation directly? No, I would not. I will not take your name until you give me a correct answer. So the next question which I show you, if you are able to write the correct answer to that question, I will take your name proudly. And you should be able to solve that question without taking the help of the AI. If you are able to do that, we'll proudly take your name. So with this, I hope you can write the solution. Integration of this is very simple. Yes, great. With that, C is needed to be found. So how do we find C? To find C, we are given y1 is equals to pi by 4. So y should be replaced by pi by 4, x should be replaced by 1, so that you can find C. Once you have found C, I hope this will not be a tough task. So can I leave it here? But of course, if you want the answer, I'll definitely write that. Don't worry about that. So with that, you will get final answer, which will be y is equals to 10 inverse x square. Your expression will be y is equals to 10 inverse x square. That will be y, right? That will be y. So with that y, 10 inverse x square, I hope you can very easily figure out the answer. Can I move ahead with that? Everyone with me on this? I was hoping to see 3K subscribers, which I haven't received so far. So let's move towards the next question, right? So how do we solve this particular one? Product of first 3 terms of a GP is 27. Great. Product of first 3 terms of a GP is 27. So can I take those 3 terms of a GP as A by R, A and AR? I hope without any hesitation we have learnt doing that, learnt taking that. That's great, Abrani. Now, how do I do that? The range of the sum of these terms is R minus AB. I think there must be some more data given to us, because I think range of sum of these, sum of how many terms? Let me check the question, because there is some correction in the data. Sum of these terms, product of 3 terms, right? The range of sum of these terms, range of sum of how many terms? Range of sum of how many terms? These terms means sum of these 3 terms, right? If nothing is said, then sum of these terms means what? Sum of 3 terms. Great. So how will I solve this? A very pretty simple, yes, AMGM may be used. You need not guess it, Abrani. That is exactly what we are doing. So if you are studying in 10th class, study in 10th class, come here next year. So how do I solve this particular question? See, Product of this GP, these terms is 27. So this A by R into A into AR should be 27. From here I can say A cube is 27. If A cube is 27, A should be 3 because 3 cube is 27. So once you have cracked A, let's find out the sum of these three terms. One of the easiest questions of this paper. Have faith in my word. So this will be A by R plus A plus AR. This is what we are trying to figure out. From here, if I take A common, I'll be left with A by 1 by R plus 1 plus R. So R and 1 by R I keep aside plus this one I keep aside. And what are we having A as? A as 3. So I'll replace that A as 3 here. Now, if you are still confused with that, you could have written it as 3 times R plus 1 by R plus 3. I hope now you all know what is needed to be done. Since we don't know whether R is positive or negative, so R plus 1 by R, a number with its reciprocal, is always greater than equal to 2 or less than equal to 2, minus 2. If it is positive, it is always greater than equal to 2. If it is negative, it is always less than minus 2. Do you remember that? So with that, when I move ahead with my conclusion, I'll say R plus 1 by R is either greater than equal to 2 or R plus 1 by R is either less than minus 2 depending on R. With that, I got to multiply it by 3. So when I multiply it by 3, 3 into 2 gives you 6. When you multiply it by 3 on both sides, 3 into minus 2 is minus 6. Now what I need to do is, to make this expression, I'll add 3 on both sides. So when I add 3 on both sides, this becomes 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. If I add 3 on both sides, this becomes plus 3 and this becomes minus 6 plus 3. Minus 6 plus 3 is minus 3. So I'm clearly saying that it will be either less than minus 3 or greater than 9. But it would not be taking any values between minus 3 and 9. It will not be taking any values between minus 3 and 9. So I'll say R minus 3 to 9. I hope you're understanding. This is how you define the range. Everyone with me on this? I hope I need not tell you the final answer from here. A square plus B square is what? 9 plus 81. That is 90 should be the correct answer. No, Abrani, why are you not understanding? There is a correction here. You cannot just do it like this. There is symmetry, but still, you got to be very careful. Everyone with me on this? Can I move ahead with the next question? Let me see what do we receive as the next question. So far we have received these many questions, and I think we can now move ahead towards the physics or chemistry, whoever is ready. So let's see who is ready so that we can work out the next part. So let me check the messages. I think one of the faculties, either Gaurav sir or Sumit sir, must be ready with their. So I am writing that I am ending it. Anyone joining it so that I get the response. So let's see who's ready. Gaurav sir is ready. Okay, so Gaurav sir is there. I'm ending it.
Yes, guys. So I hope everybody has enjoyed physics and mathematics. That it has been a while. I have been waiting and collecting questions. So let's do these questions that we have got. Let's see who all are here. So I've got a lot of questions. I guess we'll be finishing with chemistry with these lot of questions. So I hope we are still buzzing and charging. So we have Abhirani, we have Achaman Reddy, we have Killer something. Okay, so I hope hello Abhrani, yes, hello. So let us browse through these questions now. The previous questions, in the previous slides, the questions we discussed from chemistry were very easy. Now these questions are good. They are, I mean, good as in, yes, you need to understand some logics, then only you can do such questions. So let us browse through the next questions now. This one of the student was saying, sir, this was not the it was not an integer type question. In the question it was asking about, yes Tithi, hello. Some students said that this was not the question. In fact, the question was something else in which incorrect statement was asked, and the similar thing was being supplied to us also by some more number of students. So I am here with the another set of question which says that this X is reactive. So this is again that coal-based coal-based reaction of phenol. How we know it is, sir? Phenol forming salicylic acid. The previous question. Like previous question over here, I said there was they have given phenol subjected to Kolbe reaction forming salicylic acid, and the options were given, and we have to select that how many options are correct. Other students said no sir, it was a question in which we have to mark the incorrect statement. So let us try this one also. So again, we know this X is phenol. Sir, how do we know this? It is not given. If you just check the details about phenol, it is saying that X react with FeCl3. Phenol reacts with ferric chloride forming that violet complex. They are also saying that the percentage of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, although this is difficult to do, but you can obviously find what will be the molecular formula of phenol. Sir, C6, H5 and then OH. So you can calculate percentage of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Now we have Arham. Arham is saying they didn't give phenol directly. So Arham, that means you are in sync with this question, and obviously some students like Arham told us that that was not the question and this was the question. So here giving you the best possible memory based questions that we have now. They're also giving the vapor density. So, vapor density, that means molar mass is what? Molar mass is, if you divide molar mass by 2, you get your vapor density. So, that means multiply by 2, you will get the molar mass. So, these all things are signifying that this is phenol. Now, because this is phenol, so this after Kolbe's reaction, this will become salicylic acid. Perfect. So, this is salicylic acid involved with intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Now, what else we have in this question? Now they are saying in the options the incorrect statement. Now X reacts with, okay, it should be Y. It should be Y. The option A is Y reacts with sodium bicarbonate. Now we have already discussed, because acids are stronger acid than carbonic acid, therefore this will react with sodium bicarbonate, in fact sodium carbonate, and releases brisk effervescence, that is formation of CO2. So why? This is definitely correct because it is correct. So not an answer for us. X is more acidic. Now that is phenol. This is salicylic acid, carboxylic acid by family. By its mere nature, carboxylic acids are stronger acids than any substituted phenol. So obviously this will be more acidic. So it is saying X is more acidic. That means phenol is more acidic. This is absolutely incorrect. Because it is incorrect, therefore our answer, because in the question we have to mark the incorrect statement. Now, one option was also that which is soluble in NaOH. Then which is soluble in NaOH? Carboxylic acid reacts with base, because they are, carboxylic acid can react with base. Phenol cannot react with base because phenols are weaker acid than water. If yes, B is wrong, Abhirani, perfect. Or Arham is saying that the NaOH, that the option with NaOH was given. Then Arham, I have explained that also option also for you. Now, why is salicylic acid? Definitely it is correct because it is correct. So not an answer. Why is product of Kolbe's? Yes, it is Kolbe's reaction. So this is also correct. Therefore not an answer. I hope we have explored all the possibilities of this question that would have came. Now, coming to the next question, this question again lands to ionic equilibrium, but I would rather say this question is not difficult, a very moderate question. So let us attempt this. The question says, calculate pH of 10 millimolar. So what is the concentration given? Concentration of acid is given to be 10 milli, as in 10 raised to power minus 3, molar as in 10 raised to power minus 2 moles per liter is the concentration. Vivek is saying all okay. No, beta. See, actually we all get questions from everywhere. This question and every question, students come to us and they give, although students come to the central team. So these questions are compiled by the central team, and therefore from there we get our presentation and we try to serve to the best of ability to you the way we can. Now, moving to the next question. So it is saying calculate the pH of 10 millimolar weak acid. Now, what is the concentration, sir? Concentration is 10 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So it will be, concentration will be 10 raised to power minus 2 molar. Now, what do we have? We have a weak acid. What is the weak acid? It is Ha. Ha dissociates as H plus and A minus. Now, because it is a weak acid, so if we write the concentration at equilibrium, what it will be? It will be C minus C alpha. This will be C alpha. This is C alpha. What can you say about the dissociation constant of acid? Dissociation constant of acid will be equal to, if you concentration of product upon concentration of reactant, so it will be C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Now the question is in fact helping you by saying that you have to assume that alpha is negligible. So if yes, Neil is saying integer type answer 3. So let us check. Now if this alpha is very less than 1, then we can definitely say this 1 minus alpha is nothing but 1. Now if this 1 minus alpha is 1, then what can you say about Ka? Sir, Ka value will be equal to C, which is the concentration, which is 10 raised to power minus 2 into alpha squared. Now sir, what about Ka? They are supplying the value of pKa. So if pKa is 4, what can you say about value of Ka beta? Sir, Ka we can easily calculate because pK is minus of log of Ka is given out to be 4. So K will be equal to 10 raised to the power minus 4. I hope we are clear with this. So if I use this value of Ka, so this is 10 raised to the power minus 4 upon 10 raised to the power minus 2 becomes value of alpha square. So alpha becomes 10 raised to the power minus 2, that is 10 raised to the power minus 1, that is 0.1, that means 10%. So alpha is 10%, and sir 10% also we can 1 minus 0.1, so 0.9. So what approximation we have seen is also correct. Now again, what it is asking? Now it is asking that you have to calculate the pH. So it is simple question. What is pH? Sir, this is the concentration of H plus ion. So how you write the concentration? Sir, pH of this solution will be equal to minus of log of this H plus ion concentration, which is nothing but C alpha. Value of C is 10 raised to the power minus 2. Value of alpha is 10 raised to the power minus 1. So definitely whoever are answering, Neil, Abhirani is saying alpha. Yes, Abhirani, we have taken 1 minus alpha is 1. And Anuj is saying is MTZ. I do not get that MTZ, Anuj. So definitely this pH will come out to be 3 and your integer type answer will be 3. Moving forward. I hope we are clear with all this. Now, moving to this next question. Perfect, Abhirani, perfect. Now, moving to this next question, it says, for equivalent point, X ml of 0.02 molar HCl is treated with 5 ml of 0.02 molar weak base. Now, if you are getting equivalence point, what is point of equivalence? Sir, point of equivalence is when whole of the neutralization has taken place. So number of gram equivalent of acid will be equal to number of gram equivalent of base. That is the law of equivalence applied at the equivalence point. So because this is HCl, so valency factor of acid will be, sir, 1. Now, what about base? They are not supplying any information about the type of base, but because they are not supplying, so rather we should take, I mean, this is maybe in the question they have supplied some data, but because they are not supplying the valency factor, so let us assume it is also a weak base, NH4OH. Weak base they are saying, but its basicity. So assuming the weak base to be NH4OH. So what will be the valency factor of this weak base? Sir, it will also be 1. Yes, all neutralized, Abhirani. So if they are neutralized, number of gram equivalents will be equal. What is number of gram equivalent? Molarity, valency factor is 1 into volume. Volume is XML because concentration of this weak base is also 0.2. So what will be the value of X? Sir, X will be nothing but 5 ml only. Why? Because volume into molarity into valency factor will be equal to volume into molarity into valency factor, and because everything is 1, so the volume, whatever it has been supplied for the acid, it has to be supplied for the base also. So value of X will be 5. Now they are saying the pKb of weak acid is given. Okay, so pKb of that weak base is given to us. The pH of the resulting solution is Y, but when? At half of the equivalence point. Now, if I have an acid, let's say HCl, and I am adding NH4OH into it, or rather because I have to form a salt, what will be the salt? Sir, NH4Cl. This salt is a salt of weak base and strong acid, and then neutralization will take place. Now, if let's say I'm supplying this acid. So what will be the half of the equivalence point? So let's say I have this 5 ml of base. Now if I have added 5 ml of acid, complete neutralization will take place and I will get a salt. So it will be, the pH of the solution will be salt of hydrolysis of salt of weak acid, weak base and strong acid. But they are asking at the half point. So half point as in 2.5 ml will be still there, and 2.5 proportionally 2.5 into concentration, whatever its concentration given, into C. So this will be the concentration of base and this will be the concentration of salt. So what solution it is? Sir, it is a buffer solution. What is a buffer? You have a weak base and it's salt with a strong acid. So what's the pH of a basic buffer? Sir, over there Henderson equation says the formula of basic buffer is POH is equal to PKB plus log of concentration of salt, which is, let's say, same because it is exactly the same of weak base. So concentration of salt upon concentration of weak base, because both concentration are same. So this will be log 1. Not basic acidic buffer, Abhirani. It will be basic buffer. Yes, perfect. So this log 1 will be 0. So POH will be nothing but the value of PKB given. What is the value of PKB given? It is 5.69. But what is Y? Y is the pH. So what will be pH of this solution? Sir, it will be nothing but 14 minus 5.69. So this is 1, this is 3, and 13 minus 5 is 8. So 8.31 will be the value of Y. And what you have to report? You have to report the summation of X and Y. So X is 5 and Y is 8.31. So 5 plus 8.31, I guess you can clearly see 5, 8, it will be somewhere around 13.31. Yes, perfect, Abhirani, perfect. So I hope we are clear with this. Yes, Abhirani, Anuj, everybody is saying perfect. So moving to the next question. The next question is regarding the periodicity of nitrogen family. Now what does this question tells us? You have to select the correct statement for group 15 hydrides. Now what are these group 15 hydrides? Sir, group 15 as a nitrogen family. New Zealand, Pakistan, Australia, Sabbikau. You can have any other rhyme in order to remember these elements. So what can you say about the hydrides? So they will be of the form EH3. So these are their hydrides. Now, the most important thing, I have even discussed this particular set of question in the 200 questions which I have been supplied, we have been served to you as marathon revision. Now, because we know the lone pair on nitrogen is present in sp3 hybridized orbital. I hope you remember that Drago's rule. Why? Because these hydrides have a bond angle closer to 90 degree, which suggests that the central atom is not at all getting hybridized. So if central atom is not getting hybridized, then what is the hybridization state? Sir, it is hybridization. They are not even involved in any hybridization, which is Drago's rule. And therefore these electrons stays in the ns atomic orbital. No hybridization take place. So ns atomic orbital has s character, so 100%. This sp3 hybridized orbital has s character, so 25%. So more be the s character, more will be the electronegativity. So these lone pair will be tightly held by these hydrides, whereas ammonia is easily available. The lone pair on ammonia, nitrogen, is easily available to be donated. So this will be actually the best base, and basic nature will decrease down the group. I hope you remember this beautiful application of chemical bonding. Now, because we know this now let us read the options. Basic nature, statement 2 is saying basic nature increases. No sir, ammonia is the strongest base, so basic nature should decrease. So because this is definitely incorrect and we are supposed to report the correct options, so 2 is incorrect. So this option has gone, this option has gone, And this option has also gone, so we are just left with option C. Yes, perfect, perfect. And for discussing the logic, reducing power increases. Now if you want to reduce other, you will have to add hydrogen into them. If you want to add hydrogen, you need to break that C E bond H. Down the group, what dominates are bond length increases, therefore bond becomes more and more weak. So this E bond H can be easily broken down the group. Therefore basic nature will also increase, and stability will decrease, because as bond length increases, bond can easily be broken. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Just read the third also. Although not required for the question, we have already got the answer, but still, because we have to know all the chemical bonding logics. Now boiling point decreases regularly. Now generally for these hydrides, they are a polar molecule, so as the size increases, dipole attraction also increases. So if you do not see nitrogen, then you will say boiling point increases down the group. Why I'm saying you do not see nitrogen? Because in nitrogen, what exception is there? It is not an exception, it's a common sense. The intermolecular forces of attraction in NH3 is hydrogen bonding, which is the strongest. So this will have the highest boiling point. Post that, phosphorus will have the least, and after that boiling point will increase. Perfect, perfect, perfect. NH3 comes down. Arham, yes, after NH3 boiling point comes down. Yes, yes, I hope you are saying that only, that NH3 comes down as an after NH3 is maximum, and post that pH3 is minimum, so boiling point comes down and again it increases, because they also have dipole attraction, and extent of dipole attraction increases as surface area increases, so their size are getting increased. So boiling point from phosphorus till bismuth hydride increases. I hope, yes, 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 Aram, perfect, perfect. Moving forward, now a very easy question from atomic structure. Yeah, yes, Neil, yes, Neil. Now a basic question from atomic structure. What question, sir? The similar question that we have discussed, the similar set of logic that we have discussed in the previous session. Remember the spectral line transition, the Lyman Balmer Paschen bracket P1, whatever it is. Whenever electron makes a transition, what is the formula for us? Sir, the wave number, which is reciprocal of wavelength, is equal to Rydberg's constant into z square into 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square. I hope every one of us remember this formula. Now it is saying you have to calculate wave number for hydrogen atom, that is z is 1. Now for what transitions? You have to calculate for Balmer series. What for Balmer series? The wave number of first three spectral lines. So what is Balmer series? From higher state to n equal to 2. So what will be first line of Balmer series? 3 to 2. So for 3 to 2, this will be the first line. So for the first line, what will be they are asking not wavelength, that's just wave number. So apply this formula only. So it will be R into from 3 to 2. So it will be 1 upon 2 squared is 4 minus 1 upon 3 squared is 9. So this is nothing but 9 minus 4 is 5R by 36. I hope we are clear with this. Perfect. Now second will be, sir, from 4 to 2. This will be the second line. Let us put in the formula. 1 by 4 minus 4 squared is 16. So this becomes 16 minus 4 is 12. So this is 12R upon 4 into 16. So 4 will get cancelled and you will get 3R by 16. I hope you are getting answer. So 5R, then 3R. So we have to calculate for the third one also. We are having two similar options. Now what will be the third line? The third line will be 5 to 2. This will be the third line, putting the formula. So 1 by R is equal to 1 upon 4 minus 5 squared is 25. So 25 minus 4 is 21 R upon 25 into 4 is 100. So this is 21 R upon 100. Yes. So option A is right. This is wrong. I hope we are clear. Sir, take my name. Yes, beta. You are I'm sorry, Achama Reddy. I hope I have taken that name properly. Yes, Neil, Achama, everybody is saying D. Yes, perfect, guys, perfect. Moving forward. Now The next question we have is again from, categorically a chemical bonding question. So let us try and attempt this question. Now the question says, among BF4 minus, SiF4, SF4 and XeF4, the bond lengths are not identical in two of these molecules. Now let us see bond length are equal or not. Okay, people are saying, Achama is saying A. Okay, first you said D. Okay, for this maybe you are saying A. Let us see. Now, what is BF4, sir? Boron having 3 electrons must be getting an extra electron from outside and becoming B minus. And what are the bond pairs, sir? 4 fluorine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be a perfect tetrahedral structure, and this perfect tetrahedral structure will have all same bond lengths of B bond F. Sir, I think I have done the bond order one wrong. Okay, let's see. Let's see Arham. Let's see. Neil is saying 1. Okay, let us check Neil. So they have all same bond length. What the statement they have, what the question is telling you, the bond length are not identical in 2. So they have BF4 minus have all identical B mod F bonds. So it is not the molecule for us. So we should get 2 molecules. So this is not that molecule. What about SiF4? Sir, silicon is a carbon family compound. So having 4 electrons in the valence shell, so this will also be a perfect tetrahedron, and hence all bond length will be equal. So this also has equal bond length. This also has equal bond length. SF4, obviously, sulfur, outermost shell, it has 6 electrons, so 1 lone pair and 4 bond pairs. So steric number will be 5, and yes, for sulfur, you'll be having 1 lone pair in the equatorial region. These will be 2 fluorine, which will be equatorial bonds, and you will be having 2 axial bonds whose bond length will be higher. Definitely correct, with a shape of seesaw structure. So this is definitely one of the molecule. Now, checking for XeF4, xenon making 4 bonds. Xenon is a inert gas, so having 8 electrons in the valence shell. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So divide by 2, that means you'll have 2 lone pair. So bond pair will be 4, lone pair will be 2, steric number will be 6. So you have to think of octahedral geometry, but these 2 lone pair will be opposite to each other. So how you will draw the xenon? So 1 lone pair, another lone pair as at maximum distance, and you will be having 4 fluorine. Although the structure is square planar, although it is having lone pair, but still all these fluorine are having equal bond lengths. Therefore this guy also has all equal bond lengths. So this statement becomes wrong, because only one molecule, which is SF4, is the molecule which is having different bond lengths, and the statement is saying bond lengths are not identical in 2 of these. Only one is having not identical. Therefore statement 1 is incorrect. Yes, yes, yes. Octahedral is the geometry, Arham, and for shape you see nucleus with respect to each other. So shape is square planar. Perfect, Arham. Perfect, perfect. Thank you guys for being so active in the chats. Perfect. Now, coming to statement 2. Statement 2 says among O2 plus, O2 minus, O2 2 minus and F2, the highest bond order is, okay, so again apply that molecular orbital theory. Sir, for F2 we already know bond order is 1. Oxygen is having 16 electrons, so if it is O2 minus, so it will have 2 extra electrons, so its number of electrons will become similar to that of fluorine, so it also have bond order 1. Now we just have to check for O2 plus and O2 minus. So rather, many people say learn those tricks of MOT. Why learn? It is very simple to draw. So let us draw this. First let us think for oxygen how many electrons it has. Sir, 16. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now for these 8, what about the bond order, sir? Bonding, anti-bonding, bondy, anti-bonding will get cancelled, so do not bother. After that, sigma 2pz is filled, which is 9 10, then 11 12, then 13 14. Don't draw that dabba, but you can at least do this much. Now after 14 you will be having 15 and 16. Why I'm making at a larger distance? Because this is bonding and they are anti-bonding. So what is the bonding electrons we are having, sir? 6. So these two will be getting cancelled in order to calculate bond order. Now What we have to do first, let us calculate for O2 minus. So add one more electron, so it will be 17th electron. So out of these 6, how many will be getting cancelled? 3. So how many will be remaining? 3. So 3 by 2. So this is 3 by 2, as in its bond order is 1.5. You do not have to learn. You can do through common sense. Now, what about O2 plus? Sir, O2 plus, remove this also. Remove this also. So there will be only 15 electrons. So out of this 6, how many will be getting cancelled because of filling of anti-bonding? So just 1. So that means out of the 6, 1 is gone. So you're having 5. So 5 by 2 becomes 2.5. So its bond order is 2.5. So who is having the highest bond order? Sir, O2 plus. Question is saying O2 minus. No, O2 minus is having 1.5. So because this is also incorrect, so both statements are incorrect. I hope, but yes, Aram, that is what I tell to every student. You remember those tricks, and at the time of examination, most of the time you miss that trick, or else you apply it inappropriately. So rather take the basic concept with you. That is going to help you to a larger extent. So that is why I always ask my students not to remember any trick. It will rather take just few seconds more, because bonding, anti-bonding will be getting cancelled. So whatever you are having here, these are bonding. So for how many electrons you will be filling in these anti-bonding molecular orbitals, subtract in your mind. With the 6, whatever you get, divide by 2. That will give you a bond order. It is a common sense, not a trick. Yeah. So those who are good with the tricks, yeah, both incorrect. Repeat trick, please. This is not a trick, beta. Gojo. See, Gojo. What I'm telling you is how you fill electrons. You just remember that NCERT logic. Sir, sigma 1s, sigma asterisk 1s, 2s, asterisk 2s. But if you are calculating bond order, so it is NB minus NA. So bonding, anti-bonding will anyhow get cancelled. Bonding, anti-bonding will anyhow get cancelled. So why bother about these 8? After that, you have filled this 6. So this will be 6 by 2. When? If you have no anti-bonding. The number of anti-bonding that you will be having will be getting subtracted by these bonding. So whatever you are left with, let's say if I have 6 over here, and let's say I have 3 over there. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is your bond order. It is not a trick, it is a common sense. Yeah. Sir, please, okay, now because beta, I have statement 1, okay. So Neil is saying, please explain statement 1. Neil, statement 1 is saying that among these 4 molecules, bond length are not identical in 2. Actually, bond length is not identical only in case of SF4. Rest, all the 3 molecules have same bond, central atom bond fluorine bonds. So because only one is having dissimilar bond length, therefore that statement is also incorrect. The structures I have already made for you. Kindly just go few minutes before and you will see the explanation again. That is the beauty of this online classes, that you can pause the teacher and ask the teacher, hey teacher, explain again. And you just have to move the cursor of your mouse a little minutes later and you can see the whole explanation again. Yes, you have to be vigilant. Okay. I hope, Neil, I have served your query. Now, moving to the next question. Now, again, a piece of cake. Why? For advanced questions, it may be, if it would have been a multiple correct, it would have been a good question. Why? Because we know generally whenever an ion, a molecule, a complex compound show colors, it is because when it is having, generally it is having unpaired electrons, because unpaired electrons can easily get excited with visible light, and whenever they get excited, they just come back giving you electromagnetic radiation in visible spectrum. So what is the basic thumb rule we have? If you want to have a colored species, you need to have unpaired electrons. But for good questions, we also know that ligand metal transition electrons can also take place. But for this mains question, because it is single correct, whoever is not having any unpaired electron will not be the probable case of showing colors. Although I am saying this again and again, showing color is not only only done by unpaired electrons. Many a time electrons, some like you have 3D10 configuration or 3D0 configuration, in those configurations also you can get color, because color can also be shown by other factors. But in general, for a mains question, it is very doable. Why? Because the question is saying out of the following colored ions, so both have to be colored. So for both of them to have color, both of them should have unpaired electrons. If you check scandium, scandium is 4s2 3d1 plus 3, all gone, so it is inert configuration having no unpaired electrons. So this can't show any color because there is no unpaired electron. Coming to titanium, Shakti as in 22, so 4s2 3d2, 4 gone, so it is also having no unpaired, so it also cannot show color. Now scandium plus 3 again, so obviously you are landing up with one option. But yes, for an advanced question, that NCERT list of ions showing color, so the color and those ions you need to always keep in your mind. But for this mains question, it is a quite doable question. Perfect. Neil is also saying A. Arham, along with it 4f elements were given to check reducing agent. Okay, Arham is saying this was not the question. Along with it 4f block elements. Acha, 4f elements were also given to check reducing agent. Okay, he's saying they were also given to check the reducing agent. So in order to check the reducing agent, if I act as a reducing agent, I will oxidize myself. So who will oxidize itself? Who will try to achieve a stronger oxidation state? So what oxidation state these 4f, which is lanthanoids, can acquire? They act as aluminium plus 3, keeping in mind the whenever they acquire 4f7 and 4f14 configuration, they also behave mischievously. So that becomes a D block question. Moving forward, Sonali is saying okay, moving forward, everybody got A. Now a similar question, the similar concept was asked in the previous sessions also, a very basic question from the application of ideal solution. So again, a very not very much mathematics is also required, so I hope you are attempting this. So let us solve this. It is saying 2 moles of liquid A and 3 moles of liquid B are mixed. Okay sir, the vapor pressure of the ideal solution so formed is 320 mm of Hg. So let us say partial pressure of A is P naught A, or let us write A. Partial pressure of pure component B, P naught B, let us say it is Pb. So what is definition of ideal solution? So total pressure with this 320, it is mole fraction of A. What will be the mole fraction of A? 2 upon what is the total moles? 2 plus 3, 5. So this will be 2 upon 5 into, let's say, partial pressure of A I am writing as A, not P naught A, simply A, plus 3 by 5 into partial pressure of B is B. So what is the equation? Set 2A plus 3B equals. Now multiply this 5. So 5 0 0 5 3 6 is 1600. This is equation 1. Now what about the other statement? It is saying at this stage 1 mole of A are added, are mixed. So if I add 1 mole of A more, the total moles of solution becomes 6, and for A it becomes 3 by 6, and for B also it becomes 3 by 6, the new mole fraction in liquid state. So 3 by 6 and 3 by 6 is nothing but 1 by 2. What is the total pressure then? Sir, it has been increased to 340. So just do the ideal solution maths again. So 340 is equal to A by 2 plus B by 2. Why I'm not writing that 2? Because that 2 taken as LCM will be getting multiplied. So this into 2. So A plus B is equal to 680 mm of Hg. Sir, now just do your simple mathematics. Multiply by 2. So it will be equal to 2A plus 2B is equal to, so 16, 12, 13, 1360. Now what to do? Just simply subtract. So this is gone. 3B minus 2B is B. And this is 240, I guess. So this is simply, what is B? 240 mm of Hg. B is 240 mm of Hg. Obviously, if you put this over there, you will get value of A also, which is 440. So B is your answer. We had to tell which of two are true. Okay. So Arham is saying for this question also, it has come like, sir, I did it with only one equation by option checking. Perfect, Arham. That common sense is definitely required, and it saves a lot of your time. So perfect, guys. Moving forward. Now coming to this question, this question was also supplied to us. Somebody said this is the question. Some people said this is the question. Now let us do, because this question involves more logic, so let us go with those questions who said that this was the question. So if we do this question, it is saying that C3H6Cl2 reacts with, sir, this is a strong base. So remember the formation of alkynes through NCRT. First you react with alcoholic KOH to the vicinal dihalides or to dihalides. After alcoholic KOH, you need a even stronger base, which is NaNH2, which results in the formation of alkyne. What alkyne? Terminal alkynes. So 3 carbon terminal alkyne will be propyne. So P is nothing but propyne. So when propyne reacts with HgSO4 and dilute H2SO4, it is Markovnikov addition of water. How many times? 2 times. So water will be getting over here, or you can do tautomerization also. So what you will be getting, sir? Beautiful acetone. So I hope this is a basic question which we have seen in the previous sessions also. Karan is saying yes. Okay, perfect. Now, sir, again, reactions of alkyne. Sir, we know when ethine reacts with red hot Fe2, benzene is formed. But now you will get a substituted benzene. Why? Because now ethine, the 2 carbon alkyne, is also substituted with a methyl group. And what product you get, sir? Most stable product. What will be the most stable product? When the groups will be maximum distance from each other. So what symmetrical structure you can think of? So benzene substituted with methyl, but how many methyl? 3. So how can you predict the structure, sir? It will be 1,3,5 trimethyl benzene, as in mesitylene. Perfect, guys. So ratio of hydrogen in this is R. So what is number of hydrogens? 3, 6, 9, and the CH, this CH and this CH. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So number of hydrogen is 12 in R. What about this? Sir, in Q, acetone, we clearly see it is 6. So what is 12 by 6? 12 by 6. Perfect, perfect, Neil. Perfect, Neil. Perfect. Perfect, guys. Thank you for the amount of efforts and being vigilance. Thanks for being that much vigilant with the questions. It is definitely going to help you in your examination, because whenever question is thrown to you, you know how to respond. Good. Now this question is again from biomolecules. Now I would rather say this is a good question, although if you would have, again, like Arham was saying, I was using the options to get the answer. So for this question, I would rather say you should definitely know and go to the options. And if you would have just known for alpha amino acids in 21st of January also, I've said that essential and non-essential alpha amino acids at least you should learn. Now if you just know 3 alpha amino acids, what are they? This is the simple alpha amino acid, which is glycine, the alpha amino acid which is having no chiral carbon. So this becomes your H and this is your COOH. This is nothing but glycine. So if I do hydrolysis of this polypeptide, the last one is clearly visible to us. It will be glycine. So let us check the option. All option is having glycine. So although we know this, but this is not helping us. Now after that glycine, let us move to this chiral carbon. Now this chiral carbon is having CH2COOH. This will be the second one. What about the third one? So this chiral carbon, the third chiral carbon, is having CH2SH. The cysteine also is a very famous. We had this in 21st 22nd January also. So what is cysteine? I just make cysteine also for you. Cysteine is also, this is NH2, this is H, this is COOH, and you get CH2 with SH. So cysteine is thiol, substituted CH2. So this third one is cysteine. So let us go to the third one. Yes, sir, this is cysteine. This is also cysteine. This is not cysteine, so option C gone. This is not cysteine, so option D gone. Even you do not know what is ASP, which is actually the chiral carbon substituted with CH2COOH. But still, if you know this cysteine, then you can eliminate these options and now you are landing up with A and B. So Neil, C is already gone. You are having A and B. Now you're having A and B. Okay, Neil said A. Okay, now after that, this is the chiral carbon with which you are having CH3. So, sir, now we know this also. This is also an NCERT fact. It's a basic NCERT fact. I mean, NCERT has all the essential and non-essential amino acids. But if you just know the simplest, which is glycine, and this one, which is alanine. So, what is alanine? Alanine is you have NH2, H, COOH, and a methyl group. A simple methyl group is alanine. So if we know that this is alanine, then before cysteine you should have alanine. It is saying it is THR. What is this THR? This is 309. What is 309? That it is having another chiral carbon. So it is having two chiral carbons. This is actually your 309. Now I will just draw this 309 for you. This is COOH. This is NH2. This is H. Now this is your 309. What is it? Sir, it is OH, CH3 and H. So when the substituted group is this. Now some people may know this, some people may not remember this through NCERT. So what I'm telling you is, if you just know three structures, what? Glycine, alanine and cysteine. Still glycine, cysteine and alanine. Just with these three you can say option A is your right answer. Yes, definitely learning the complete essential and non-essential amino acid list from NCERT is important. But if you know just these three, you can mark. Even if you do not know what is 309, still you can do this question. Although I have told you what is 309, because whatever NT is asking is important for us. So moving forward. Now, coming to the next question of carbonyl compounds. Yeah, now it is, I guess this is also the exact question, the exact logic which has been asked before to us. Again, take options, take help of options. You will be solving this question with an easier extent. Now, definitely we know this is a ketone. Benzene, CO, CH2, CH3. Definitely we know this is a ketone. So this is a ketone. Can it give iodoform test? No, sir, it is not having any methyl group. So P can't give B. A. P cannot give A. So P cannot give A. So this option is gone. So we are just left with three options. Now, P can give, yes, P can give B, because 2,4-DNP test forming that yellow, orange or red substance is valid for every carbonyl compound. So P can give B. What about C? So tolerance test is only given by aldehydes. It is a ketone, so it will not give this. What about Felling? Again, Felling can only be given by aldehydes, both aliphatic and tolerance can be given by both aliphatic and aromatic. Felling can only be given by aliphatic. Now, so P is coming with B. So P is coming with B. This can be right. This can be right. This can be right. Now, going to aldehyde, which is benzaldehyde. So over here, Q is B and C. Over here, Q is BCD. Over here, Q is BCD. So just check D. What is D? Felling. So can you just tell that aromatic aldehyde tolerance test is given by aliphatic and aromatic? Felling test is given by aliphatic and aromatic both. Yes, yes, yes. So okay, let us go to tolerance test. Let us go to tolerance test. Now this is a acid. This is acetone. Acetophenone. This is acetophenone, benzene, COCH3, and because it is having a methyl group, so it is the only structure, because here this is also an aldehyde not having active methyl group. So this is the only structure which can give you iodoform test, because it is having CH3 group. That means S is A. That means S will be giving A, and no else. For A, if you are seeing there is no A. Yes, there is A. S can give A. S can give A. S can give A. So, but talking about B. So talking about this S, what test this S can give? Sir, this is acetophenone. So let us draw this acetophenone again. This is COCH3. It can give tolerance test, it can give iodoform test. Yes, because it is having this CH3 group, which can be precipitated as CHI3. It can give DNP. Yes, sir, it can give DNP also. It can give tolerance test. No, sir, it's a ketone. It cannot give tolerance test. It is saying C, so it is gone. What about this one? It is AB. It is AB. So we are left with two options, A and D. So now we have to check for Q can give D or not. This is our point of distance. Q, point of difference. Q can give D or not. Q is a aldehyde, and aldehydes, Q can give D and not. Aldehydes, what aldehyde? Aromatic aldehyde. Aromatic aldehyde cannot give Felling's test. So Q cannot give D. Q cannot give D, therefore this is wrong and option A is right, because Q should give B and C. Q should give B and C. Now this is a question where you have to work on the options, so it is rather time consuming. So Q cannot give D because aromatic aldehyde cannot give Felling test. Therefore, what will be your answer? Option A. And now this I would rather say a time consuming question because options are clumsy. This is what students have communicated to us. Moving to the next question. Now, again a very basic question from atomic structure, and make this thing a point for the second attempt, that if you are having the previously they have not asked literally about the nodes. So what is a node? A region around space around nucleus where probability of finding electron becomes 0. How many nodes? We have two types of nodes, radial node and angular node. Radial node comes with a formula n minus L minus 1. Angular nodes comes with a formula L. And what is the definition of a node where probability of finding electron becomes 0? So they are just giving you a wave function, and giving a wave function, obviously they are not asking, but we know it is a wave function for s orbital. Why? Because it is starting from a maxima. Although this is not asked, they have just asked what point represents node. So node is a point where probability of finding electron becomes 0. One more point, node at center and at infinity is not considered. So you will not say, sir, at D also probability of finding electron is getting decreased. No. At center and at infinite distance, node is not considered. Node is considered in between only. So B will be your node. Therefore, your answer will be clearly option B. Moving to the next question. Now, this is also a beautiful question from coordination chemistry. What this question was served, how this question was served to us. Now, why I'm saying it is a beautiful question? Because of this option. We have to give the sum of number of geometrical isomers. Now, the sum of number of geometrical isomers. So this is a beautiful question which is asking us about M, A, B, C, D. Now, considering although students have said that it was not given, but if you are calculating this, because tetrahedral is a symmetrical structure and a symmetrical structure cannot give you geometric isomers, so it has to be a square planar structure, then only it can show you geometrical isomerism. So considering this as a square planar structure, as a square planar molecule, so how many geometrical isomers you can find? Let's say, sir, we have, because square planar geometry we can fix. So let's say I have A over here. So at transposition I have B or C or D. So if I would be having just this MACD, what are the possible number of geometrical isomers? Now this is a good question. 3. If it would be just MABCD, sir, this is MABCD. No, it is not. Why it is not? Because this NO2 can behave as NO2 also, where ligation will be happening from nitrogen, but it can ligate from oxygen also in form of ONO. Similarly, this cyanide, sometimes the carbon can ligate, sometimes the nitrogen can ligate. So because these two ligands can show linkage isomerism also, therefore it becomes a good question. And how to solve this now? We have to do the permutation combination. Sir, how? Let's say we know that MABCD is giving how many possibilities? 3 geometrical isomers. But calculate this 3 geometrical isomerism for each cases. As in, if I fix this nitrogen that this is giving, so what about the cyanide ligand? Sir, C can also give, N can also give. So if this would be the case, how many possibilities of geometrical isomers you will be having? 3. Sir, if this is the case, again you will be landing up with 3 isomers. Now do the other thing. That is, if I have ONO, then CN can also give. If I have ONO, if I have ONO, then NC can also behave as ligand. So 3 over here also, 3 over here also. So this is a notorious question with that, because of this possibilities of linkage isomerism. How many number of geometrical isomerism this guy, this molecule can show? 12. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. This is a good thing. Now, optically inactive, you have to again do more. Now again, optical isomers you have to calculate. For this, M oxalate ligand, whole twice, this 2 should come here. But what form of this? Optically inactive. So who will be optically inactive? Which will be symmetrical? Who will be symmetrical? Sir, the trans one, because this is a octahedral complex, so I have to make that oxalate ligand over here. This is Cl upside, this is Cl downside, because cis will be optically active. So how many isomers it will form? Sir, I mean, if you just have to consider this trans one, then this will be just this isomer only. So only one geometrical isomer. Still, the question is not done with you. It is saying the number of geometrical isomers of this also. Now, this is an NCERT, a board fact, which is MA3B3. So it will form a facial isomer and a meridional isomer. So FAC-MER form. So this will give how many geometrical isomers? 2. So your answer will be 12 plus 1 is 13 plus 2, that is 15. So your answer will be beautifully option 15. A good question, I would rather say. Moving to the last question which we have with us now. This question also, if you just go to the basic of redox reaction, because it is also serving you and asking you the detail of electrochemistry, that E cell is equal to E naught cell minus RT upon NF. So you do not have to balance, although the given reaction is already balanced. But this is just asking not the complete Nernst equation, just the number of electron transferred. So Q is the reaction quotient, but you just have to find the number of electron transferred. So this is not an electrochemistry question. It would rather visually be appearing to be a good question, but actually you just have to calculate number of electron transferred. How to do that? Just focus your attention to any of the species. Because medium is acidic, so who will be creating this acidic medium? HClO3. So let us do and focus our attention on this chlorine. So chlorine changing from X minus 6 equals minus 1, as in from plus 5 oxidation state to minus 1 oxidation state. So how many electrons are getting transferred? So from plus 5 till minus 1, as in it must have accepted, it must have gained how many electrons? 6 electrons. The question that is given to you is balanced also. So how many species you are using, sir? 4 ClO3 minus. So this will be multiplied by 4. So what will be the total number of electron transfer? 6 into 4 is 24. So what will be the n factor? Sir, n factor will be equal to 24. That is number. You can do for the other species also, but because this is an easier one, so I'm doing it with this only. So yeah, this ends up, yes. Now I would rather say that those of you, let's see if I have some more chemistry questions, but I guess I'm done for now. And Sumit sir will be joining. So, but the review that I'm giving you for the initial questions were very easy. Few questions are lengthy as in they are taking time to be getting solved. But if you take help of options, then it is definitely going to help you. So okay, so we'll be coming up with more discussions, beta. Rama Bhavya. So right now I'm passing to Sumit sir. So ending, and we'll see you in the next half.
Hello. I hope you all are able to hear me. Okay, so we are back with more questions on physics. Let us see. For the given situation shown in figure, two discs, each of mass 600 grams, are rotating about fixed axis AA dash. Radius of each disc is 10 centimeter and they are at distance R1, that is 10 centimeter and 20 centimeter, this R1, R2. Okay, so I can say if radius of the disc is R, so this is my R and this is 2R. R2 is 20, yeah. Torque acting about the axis is this, okay, find angular acceleration in radian per second. Somebody is asking, sir, I got 100 marks in 23rd shift. Can I get below 100 rank in VIT, okay, or SRM? For that, we will make a separate video. Okay, so that analysis will be separate. Let us discuss the question. So here, first of all, what we will do, we will write the moment of inertia of the system about this axis, and that moment of inertia, if we get I, so we will write torque is equals to I alpha. From there, we will get alpha. Okay, so we know that torque is equals to I into alpha. So alpha will come out to be torque divided by I. This is what we are going to do. So I need I first. About this axis, if I write I, what is that? mr square by 4. This is a disk, huh? Yeah, this is a disk. So this is mr square by 4. If this is mr square by 4, about this axis it will become mr square by 4 plus mr square. Okay, so mr square by 4 plus mr square, parallel axis theorem. Now similarly, about this axis, the moment of inertia is mr square by 4. About this axis, if you write, it will become mr square by 4 plus m into 2r square. Okay, so when I write the total, so I'll add here mr square by 4 plus m into 2r whole square. So what it is? This becomes mr square by 2 plus 4 plus 1 5 mr square. So this becomes my 11 by 2 mr square. Now this 11 by 2 mr square we will put here. So torque is, how much is the torque? 45 into 10 to the power 2 dyne centimeter. We need to convert that to SI. So I'll write 45 into 10 to the power 2 dyne. If I convert dyne to Newton, it will be 10 to the power minus 5. And then centimeter, dyne centimeter. Centimeter, if we convert to meter, it will become 10 to the power minus 2 again. Okay, now this becomes in Newton meter. Torque divided by the total moment of inertia, that is 11 by 2 mr square. So 11 by 2 into m. What is m? M is 0.6 kg into r square is, r is 10 centimeter, so 0.1, 0.1, okay, 0.1 square, that will become 0.01. So this is 10 to the power minus 2, this got cancelled, okay, and this is 10 to the power minus 3, then 1 10 to the power, okay, anyways, this 10 to the power 3 will become here, then 10 to the power 3, so here it will become 10 to the power minus 2, okay, 2 into 3, 3 into 15, so this is 15 by 11 into 10 to the power, how much? Minus 2. Everything seems right. 0.15. Let me check the decimal places again. So this was 10 to the power minus 5. Okay. 10 to the power 2 here got cancelled. 1 decimal got cancelled here. This was 10 to the power minus, this was 10 to the power 2. Okay. So 10 to the power 3. So 10 to the power minus 2 remain minus 2, and then 15. Okay, 15 divided by 11 into 10 to the power minus 2. So this is, I think these options are like that. Anyways, we can convert, change the option. So this will become 0.15, 0.15 by 11 into 10 to the power 2 radian per second. Sir, can I prepare for second attempt in the time? Is the time enough? Yes, the time is more than enough, provided you have that focus. Now I should ask you, do you have enough focus? Do you have enough zeal? If you have, you can make, no problem at all. A biconvex lens of refractive index 0.15 and plano-convex lens of refractive index 1.7 have same magnitude of power. Okay, if second radius of curvature of convex lens, now this is biconvex, let me take another color. So this is my biconvex. Let us take here radius is r1, here it is r2, and this is our plano-concave. Okay, flat surface is having radius of infinity, and what is mentioned? If second radius of curvature of convex lens is equal to the radius of curvature of plano-convex. So second means this is my r2. Find the ratio of first radius to radius of curvature to second radius of curvature, we need ratio of R1 and R2, provided it is given that the power, the magnitude of power is same. So power is 1 by focal length. 1 by focal length is mu minus 1. What is mu here? 1.5. What is mu here? 1.7. Okay, so I'll write 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus, okay, R1 is positive and R2 is negative. Okay, so plus, it will become minus of minus, okay, like that. And this is equal to the magnitude here, mu minus 1. So 1.7 minus 1 into 1 by infinity minus 1 by R2. Now here a negative sign will come, but we need magnitude, so we will take up another negative sign here. Therefore minus minus will become plus. Now both sides, so this will become 1 by 2 into 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and this will become 0.7. 0.7 is 7 by 10. Okay, so this is my 7 by 10 into 1 by R2. Okay, let me write it. 7 by 10 R2. 2 into 5, 7 by 5. So 1 by R1, from here I can say 1 by R1 is equals to 7 by 5 minus 1 is 2 by 5. 2 by 5 R2. So from here I can say that the ratio of first radius to second radius, R1 by R2 will become 5 by 2. That comes out to be 5 by 2, which is option B. सर जो प्रोबेबिलिटी का क्वेश्चन था उसमें ऑप्शन समथिंग 7 by 55 था. Okay, I think Deependra sir will come and he will take that question. Okay, thank you Himanshu for mentioning that. Okay, next question. Statement question is there. Let us read. When a planar wavefront passes through a prism, then its wavefront, I think, then its shape it should be. Then its shape doesn't change. Now, if a prism is like this, a wavefront is coming. When it will pass, what will happen? The wavefront will bend like this, isn't it? Like the rays are coming, let us take. And then what will happen? The rays will go like this. Okay, so the wavefront bend like this, but it remains planar. That is correct. When planar wavefront passes through a smaller slit, wavefront becomes cylindrical. When we are having smaller slit like this, okay, now rays are coming. So a wavefront is like this. It is coming. What happens? It goes like this. You remember? YDSC. Okay, so they become cylindrical. So statement 1 is correct. Okay, here bending will happen. Now next, if distance between slits is decreased and screen distance is increased, then fringe width increases. Fringe width is lambda d by d. What is saying? If distance between slits is decreased, it means this is decreased and screen distance is increased. So you are increasing this. Fringe width increases. Yes, this will increase. This is correct. So S1 and S2 both are correct. Option A is correct here. Clear? Fringe width question is almost, I can say, most, not almost all the, but in most of the shifts that question was asked. Next question. In a vernier caliper, when nothing is placed between the jaws of zero scale, okay, 0 of vernier scale is ahead of the 0 of the main scale. It means my zero error is positive. Positive, and how much? Fourth division. Okay, and fourth division coincides with one of the main scale division. Fourth division coincides, it means zero error is 4 into the least count. Next, now when a thin cylindrical wire is kept into the gaps, then main scale reading is 15. Okay, so if I write the diameter, what that will be? Main scale reading plus vernier scale coincidence, okay, where it is happening into the least count minus the zero error. This is how we write it. Now write, what is main scale reading, this is 15 units and 1 MSD is 1 mm. So this is 15 mm plus. Fifth vernier scale matches, division matches. It means VSC is 5 into the least count is given as 0.1 mm minus 0 error, so minus 4 into the least count is 0.1 mm. So this becomes 15.1 mm. This is 15.1 mm. Answer is D. Correct, correct, perfect. Mantra. Okay. Moving ahead, two identical cells with same EMF. Okay, it should be E. Same EMF E and internal resistance small r respectively are given when cells are connected in series and when they are connected in parallel. Both cases they drive equal current I in external resistance 6 ohm. So condition 1, they are connected in series. I think that should be mentioned that they are in the same sense. Okay. Now series, this is E, this is E, this is R, this is R, this is my external resistance. If I write the current here, what it will be? Total EMF. That is in the same sense. Okay, E plus E, 2E divided by total resistance, that is R is 6. Okay, 6 plus 2R. Now next, both are connected in parallel. Okay, so this is E, R, E, R. First of all, let us write the equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance. How we write? 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay, so this will become like this. R equivalent comes out to be R by 2. And then write E equivalent divided by R equivalent, that is R by 2, is equals to E1, that is E, divided by R1 plus E2 divided by R2. So that becomes 2 there. So this 2 and this 2 got cancelled. This R got cancelled. E equivalent comes out to be E itself. So this whole behaves like E with internal resistance R by 2, and now this is my external resistance which is 6 ohm. If you ask how much is the current here, so I will say this current will be EMF E divided by total resistance which is 6 plus R by 2. Now it is mentioned that these two currents are equal. Let us take this is I1, this is I2. Okay, so I1 is equal to I2. Now do that. So 2E divided by 6 plus 2R is equals to E divided by 6 plus R by 2. This and this is getting cancelled. So this becomes 12 plus R. From here I am writing 12 plus R, okay, multiplying like this, is equals to 6 plus 2R. So from here I got my small r is coming out to be 6 ohm. Yeah, find the value of internal resistance R. So this comes out to be 6 ohm. 6, yeah, perfect. Answer is 6. Great. Potentiometer question. Let us read. In a potentiometer, when a battery is connected with external resistance R1, that is 4 ohm, the balancing length is found to be 120 centimeter. Now, when R1 is removed and another external resistance R2 is connected, the balance length is given to us. Find the internal resistance. Now, okay, in my potentiometer circuit, okay, you may consider it like this. This is my cell, its internal resistance, the external resistance. Here we are balancing it. Balancing means when this potential, the terminal potential of the cell becomes equal to the potential here. So here potential drop per unit length is constant in potentiometer. Okay, so let us take this balancing length is L. So I will say potential per unit length into the length is equal to the terminal potential here. How much is the terminal potential here? R into the current. R into the current. Current will be in here like this. Okay, so that will be E divided by R plus R. This is how we write. Okay, now for both the cases, first case it is 120. Okay, so 120 into lambda is equal to how much is R1? R1 was 4. This was 4 external resistance. So 4E divided by internal resistance plus 4. This is my first equation. For the second equation, R2 is 12 ohm, write it there. So this will become 12 E divided by R plus 12. And how much was the balancing length? It is found to be 180 centimeter. Yeah. So this is 180 lambda. I got these two equations, divide these two. Lambda got cancelled. 60 into 2, 60 into 3. E got cancelled. 4 into 3. This 3 got cancelled. Now 2 comes out to be 2. Yeah, here we have 2. There we will have R plus 12 divided by R plus 4. So R plus 12 divided by R plus 4. What it will be? 2R plus 8 comes out to be R plus 12. So R comes out to be 4 ohm. So here the internal resistance comes out to be of 4 ohm. Okay, this was all the questions. These were all the questions in physics. Now quick analysis. Till now what we got, we discussed almost 20 questions. From magnetism we had 2 questions. First the force between the parallel wires. Second was of finding the magnetic field on the axis due to a current carrying loop. From EM waves, one question on speed thermodynamics, question on work done fluid, question on terminal speed. There we need to see the graph. AC, finding RMS value. SHM, potential energy, where it is minimum or maximum. Dual nature, there was one question on de Broglie wavelength. Straight line motion under gravity. Thermal properties of matter, there was question on state change. Current electricity, we had 3 questions, one on finding the R equivalent, another on the cell, then another on the potentiometer. From semiconductor we had one question on diode. From rotation, moment of inertia, and tau is equals to alpha, 2 questions. NLM, one question on friction, ray optics, Lensmaker formula, wave optics, wavefront. Next, experimental physics, one question on vernier caliper. Okay, now I think Dipendra sir will join. So let us see. Dipendra sir, it's over to you now. Let me check if Dipendra sir is ready.
All right, students, just give me a quick response. Am I clearly visible and audible? Can you all see me on the screen? I think Sumit sir must have ended and we are very properly visible to you all. Just give me a quick confirmation. Can you all see the screen which I have just shared? Are you all there? Give me a quick response so that we can conclude it with our final lap. Okay, great, great, great. So I think I can see some students live, but the screen is still not visible. Just give me a quick response. Is this? Yes, I think it's visible. Very, very well, very properly visible to everyone. Great. So let's get started. This is a question basically based on area under the curve. I hope you know that when you talk about xy is equal to what? 8, then this is clearly a rectangular hyperbola. This clearly you draw it like this and this. I hope you remember first and third quadrant rectangular hyperbola. Do you remember that? With that we are told y is equals to x square. So when you talk about y is equals to x square, you clearly know this is a parabola, upward facing parabola. Y is equals to x square. Do you remember that? Great. Thank you so much, Mantra. Thank you so much, Sohan. That's great. Let's get started with that. Here, the next part will be really simple here. What I'll say is that the third curve is y is equals to 1, a straight line parallel to the x-axis passing through 0, 1. Everyone with me on this? Now, when you satisfy these inequalities, xy less than equal to 8, y less than equal to x square, and y greater than 1, you can take some random points. For example, if I take a point here that satisfies it or not, so that you can find out whether the point lies inside the parabola or outside the parabola. Same can be done with the point lies above the line or below the line. The same can be done with the rectangular hyperbola, whether origin is the segment where I need to take or the other segment I need to take. So through that you can work out the region, and finally when you work out the region through figuring out the powers of point with respect to these inequalities, you will be concluding that, sir, this is going to be the region we need to figure out in terms of area. Everyone with me on this? Great, 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 great. Sohan, it's really difficult for me to work it out at this stage because we need the clubbed combined data of all the subjects. So with that, I think I'll be in a better position to give a conclusion. But right now, let's solve this particular question. All I'm trying to make you understand is that here, Lower curve is always the y is equals to 1, the straight line. But when you look at this particular part, the upper curve is going to be y is equals to x square. So it will be upper curve minus lower curve, x square minus 1. And the range will be, we are again taking this stripe here, this kind of a stripe. So with that, I hope you clearly can see it will be 1 to 2, lower limit to upper limit. When you talk about this particular zone, this particular part, so here it is the lower curve. Upper curve is what? Y is equals to 8 by x, the rectangular hyperbola, minus the line y is equals to 1. So that is your upper curve minus lower curve. The lower range and upper range will be, of course, it will start from 2 to 8. So do 8. I hope you know how to integrate it. It's really simple to integrate x square, x cube by 3, x. This will be 8 ln x minus x. You put the upper limit and the lower limit, and with that you can get the final answer within some simple, single, straightforward, decent steps. Can I move ahead with the next question? Next question was even simpler, easy, one of the simplest question. Of course, they introduce difficulty in maths by introducing length, by introducing calculation. So if questions are conceptually weak, they will ensure that they are lengthy in terms of calculation. Although anybody studying in 10th standard would do this question. Trust me, have faith in my words. Why am I saying so? Because look at this. There is an AP A1, A2, A3 until AN. So this common difference of this AP is 13 times the common difference of this AP. Now, if I take the common difference of this AP as D, the common difference of this AP can be taken as 13D. I hope you are comfortable with that. Now, when I go ahead next, what I see here is that the next thing will be the value of 78th term from this AP. That I'll be writing as A1 first term plus 77 into 13D, because the common difference is 13D, which we are given as 327. So there are two variables, 1, 2, and I'm getting one equation. Perfect. With that, other data, B43. Now B43, 43rd term is given by B1 first term plus 42D. The common difference is D here, which is given as minus 385. I hope everyone is comfortably understanding that. Similarly, one more data is given. B31 is minus 277. So B31 means what? B plus 30D. A plus n minus 1D is minus 277. Now the next thing which everyone must be realizing is here, very simple task, that this and this equation are two equations in two variables. When you solve them, you can very easily eliminate B1, and by subtracting this from this, you can get the value of D very easily. Now why are we finding D? Once you have figured out D, you replace that D here and you can find A1 very easily with that substitution by putting that here in this equation. So with that, you can crack A1, and that's exactly what we were asked. Do you not think anybody studying in 10th standard can do this question? Nothing special was there. You all have studied this. So such easy questions are also being asked by IIT JEE. Let's look at the next question. Yes, matrices and determinants, some basic understanding if you have, then you can crack this question as well. See, we are told there is a matrix A. Perfect. There is a matrix B into x1, x2 is 12 minus 6. Okay, great. Now what do we do next? We are told B is I plus A inverse. So B is inverse of I plus A. Great. Now don't start finding I plus A and then its inverse. That's not what you should do. Please don't do that. Why am I saying so? We now need to find out x1 minus x2. Two values we need to find out. So what I'll do is B. B is given by I plus A inverse. So B I'll be writing as I plus A inverse times x1, x2 is 12 minus 6. So if I post multiply it or pre-multiply it basically, so there is a small correction here. If I pre-multiply it, let me just make that correction here, students. So if I pre-multiply it by I plus A on both sides. So if I'm pre-multiplying it by I plus A on both sides, it will leave me with x1, x2. It will leave me with x1, x2 on the left hand side. But here when you do that pre-multiplication, it will be I plus A. I hope you're understanding. I plus A is what the matrix with which I'm multiplying it from left hand side. And there I'll be having 12 and minus 6. I hope you all are realizing how easy this question was. You won't call it a lengthy one. So here with that proper catch, if you have cracked that logic, what will you say? I plus A. Can you not crack I plus A? I plus A will be simply A plus I or I plus A will be same, which is going to be what? On the left hand side, you are having x1, x2. On the right hand side, we are having I. I is what? 12 plus 1, that is 13. Minus 5 plus 0 is minus 5. 10 plus 0 is 10 and minus 6 plus 1 is 7. This is your I plus A. Everyone with me on this. And we have 12 minus 6. So this is 12 minus 6. Now, do you not know matrix multiplication at this stage? What you will do is this into this will be value of x1. And this into this will be the value of x2. I hope you know matrix multiplication. With that, with some simple calculation, you can crack x1 and x2. And there you can find x1 minus x2. I hope you can skip that calculation. Let's move towards the next question. One of the simplest question asked from coordinate geometry. You need not do anything if you are aware of the basics. What do I mean by that? We are given that there is a triangle ABC. There is a triangle ABC. Great. This triangle ABC has a side AB. Has a side AB where the side AB is having the equation x plus 2 root 2y minus 4 is equals to 0. Great. And this side here intersects x-axis at 4 comma 0, which is your A, and this side intersects the y-axis at B, which is 0 comma root 2. How did I find it? I simply replace x by 0 here. So when you replace x by 0, y becomes 4 by 2 root 2. That gives you root 2, B point. And with that, when you replace y by 0, you get x is equal to 4. That's 4 comma 0, the x-intercept of this line. So these 2 points A comma B are the 2 vertices of the triangle, equilateral triangle, mind you everyone. With that, we are given there is third point C, whose coordinates are given by alpha comma beta. Now we need to understand this particular statement very clearly, that this triangle is an equilateral triangle and it is having its orthocenter at 0 comma 0. Do you not remember, for an equilateral triangle, orthocenter, circumcenter, centroid, and even in center remains same, they all coincide. With that, can I not say that, sir, it's a centroid and its orthocenter will be same? Which means this is 0 comma 0, the orthocenter. So the centroid will also be 0 comma 0. With that, can I not say x1 plus x2 plus x3 divided by 3 will be 0? Similarly, y1 plus y2 plus y3 divided by 3 will be 0. So when you do so, by simply solving these equations, you can work out alpha and beta, which is definitely not a tough or a difficult task. With that, if I could give you my verdict on mathematics this year, I'll say that yes, 2 things were sure. Maths was again lengthy, but not very difficult. I'll still say it was moderate. Again, people will say that, sir, it was difficult. I am agreeing with that. It could be called a difficult paper if you call it a lengthy one. But it was still having some decent questions, some standard questions, and it was still a matter of figuring out those easy and doable questions. So anybody who could figure out those 5 to 7 easy questions, everybody must have done it. So it was simply a game of identifying those easy questions. 5 to 7 easy doable questions were there. Then 2 to 3 more questions could have been found, and 10 would be called a good attempt in mathematics section. Somebody is saying 100%. Great. Next, my opinion will be, yes, you could have seen questions from vectors 3D conic section. They are the dominating ones. But yes, we are seeing questions from PNC and probability as well. So algebra is coming into picture. Matrices and determinants, as expected, it is going against our expectations. So matrices and determinants has reduced its weightage because they will surprise you. If you are expecting or hoping certain thing to be dominating, for example, calculus, they'll reduce it so that you stay surprised. And that's what it does. If it has given you a gap of 3 days, this is how it will definitely surprise you. I think remaining part, integration, sequence and series was also there. So overall, paper was good, decent. It wasn't very tough or difficult, but it was lengthy. That is acceptable. With that, can we call it a day? I hope you all must have learned and enjoyed a lot with this analysis. One more analysis is left. We'll be there back at approximately at 6:30, and then we'll continue with our more things to be, things which are under planning, which are definitely roll out once we are done with this analysis session, so that you can be helped or assisted for your April attempt as well. So with that, let's call it a day. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience.